What's up, y'all? Kofi Kingston here, and I would love to have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks, depending on what that drink is, preferably non-alcoholic, you know?
How's it going? The Celtic Warriors, James.
Soda.
I would love to have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks.
Maple syrup.
I would never have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks.
Why? Hi, friends. I know it's us again. We're doing it again. I don't know. Anyways, hi. I'm Ms. Amanda Jane, and you've reached Thursday Night Chaser right here on Wrestling on the Rocks. Woo-hoo! And you know, woohoo! I've got a sidekick with me. So, hey, Digi, where you at?
I'm in a very spooky bar, enjoying the holiday season.
I like that. Cheers to that.
Yeah, cheers.
Okay. Cheers to that.
Coke.
All right. Mm-mm-mm. But, you know, drinking is better when you do it with friends.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I have a friend that wants to join us today.
But is he really a friend?
I don't know. That's a good question.
I was going to go with frenemy.
A friend? I don't think he's a friend of me. Not, well, at least not with me. With you? I don't know.
Yeah, we might have heat. Yeah. It's fine.
Like, Bishop is like a friend of me.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
Yeah, that's a friend of me. Yeah. I don't know.
Fair.
I'm just saying. So you guys know what we do. It's Thursday. There's a lot of good shit. There's a lot of bad shit. There's a lot of freaking bickering about WWE and AEW on Tuesday. Yeah.
Lots of peaches.
Whatever.
Well,
so anyways, I'm kind of bored with that. So can we bring on our special guest? Yes, this is the second week in a row we've had a special guest.
And
oh my God! It's my birthday!
ah!
Oh, Marv, I missed you. I miss you,
Thanks,
Marv.
Marv.
Oh, holy
Thanks,
shit.
Marv, for the rousing introduction.
So guess who it is, people? Guess who?
Well, they can read. I mean, maybe.
Well, if you're on audio, you can't read.
Oh,
We don't
well.
really post audio anymore, just for the record.
Oh. Yeah.
Kind of shut that down a while ago. Saves me $15 a month.
That's fair.
well,
I was gonna figure out. There's a free way I got to do it. I just have to do it.
a three-way? What?
Free.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Oh.
I'm obviously deaf.
Bishop was
Or-
telling me his platform is free, so I'm gonna move to Bishop's platform. So
Really?
Mm.
And also, Bishop thinks that that Danielson and Zack Sabre Jr. match was like trash when they did the crab spot on the head. Oh,
Real.
Grass spot's a
doesn't know
stupid
art.
spot. I see it every time I've seen it. I've never liked it. But the match wasn't.
oh my
that good.
god! Oh,
Grass
we'll
spot's
talk
stupid.
about that
It's
later.
goofy dumb shit, is what it is. It's technical goofy.
It's British wrestling. Okay,
Hey,
it's British
hey.
wrestling.
You don't think
Wow.
the
I'm
British
just
are
saying.
goofy?
Yeah.
They are. Look, Grado.
Monty Python? You kidding? The administrator of
Daddy.
Silly Walks?
I'm talking wrestling.
No, it's
Everything
there.
is wrestling,
color.
including Monty Python.
You know.
Yeah. So, boss, want to pick a direction?
I don't
We-
know. Pick
we-
a direction.
I don't know. You have birthdays.
Yes, we have birthdays. Oh, yes, we do. So October's got a
produced.
lot of really good birthdays. So
Shout out to
start
Marv.
off with, let's see here. Who do we
It's
got?
true. It's Marv's birthday every day.
Yep.
Marv's birthday is every day. We celebrate Marv's birthday every day. Just know that. Karen Jarrett has a birthday.
Oh.
I still can't believe that frickin' they made Aubrey Edwards beat her. Fuck that.
That was stupid.
That's all I'm gonna say about that. Anyways, Stacy Keebler, her birthday's
Oh,
this
nice.
week. Happy birthday. Tama Tonga. Okay, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. Bullet Club has not been the same without Tama Tonga and Tongaloa. I'm just saying. My personal opinion. Mm-hmm.
No argument.
Yep. And then he kicked out El Phantasmo. What the fuck? All right. Yeah, whatever. I'm not gonna go too much into that. Another birthday that is happening is the cleaner, Kenny Omega. Happy birthday, dude. I didn't know he was Libra. It explains a lot. And, there really isn't a lot of birthdays, but there is actually.
Wasn't Rhea's birthday this week?
No, that was last week.
It was last week.
Yesterday. Rhea's birthday was yesterday.
She does a
Kaz,
Thursday to Thursday thing.
Rikishi, Ricochet. But next week, somebody else's birthday. I might not be a wrestler, but it's my birthday next week.
Hey.
You can Venmo me like a birthday gift or not to at Ms. Amanda Jane.
Yeah. Venmo at Miss Amanda Jane for a birthday gift.
Yeah, I want to buy those like little chibi stick, or you can buy me one of those chibi stickers of Ricky. They're so cute. I got the little set when I went to Dynamite last week.
Oh God!
But the
Did
only
I not
people
send
that I
you Miss
wanted on
Amanda
there-
Jane drinking buddy stickers? That's close to chibi.
Oh, that too. That's always a good gift. Not for me, but for y'all. You know. But yeah, I wanted.
Treat yourself.
But the thing is, the Miss Amanda Jane sticker is bigger than the Ricky Chibi by quite a bit. So it looks like I look like Amazon woman next to that sticker. So I did not. I did not. I have not. I put all the other stickers on my MacBook just to have them. I'm like, I'm waiting for a special place to put the Chibi Ricky until I get more of them. But yes,
Over the apple, so we can all forget.
Yep. And then it's got else was on it? Hobbs, Darby Allin, Daddy Ass was on there. Who else? Chris Statlander, and then I'm forgetting somebody. But whatever. They're cute. They're cute. Speaking of which, oh my God, I got my All Elite crate yesterday. I forgot I ordered that.
Oh shit! You ordered an All Elite crate?
Yeah.
You don't have it with you because you're not home, huh? You don't have it with you right now, do you?
No, I do not. However, what I will do is I'll do a little special little video. I already opened it. And actually the shirts this time, the acclaimed one was really good. I liked it. It was a nice bright blue with the pink, and yeah, I liked it. It had a boombox. It was cute. But what was interesting is the brawler that was in there was Daddy Ass, you know. But they came out now with these little like mini, like blind box kind of like little brawlers. So we got one in there, and of course, I'm curious to see what it had, you know. Whatever, because they do have 2 chases and all that fun stuff. And I opened it, and lo and behold, I got a chase. It's Dark Evil Danhausen.
Oh, that's huge. That's big. That's big time.
In a jar in one hand, and he's got like an ice pick or whatever in the other hand. Totally cool. He's about maybe that tall. So I'll have to show you guys. I was like shocked. Yeah. I'm like, I don't ever get chases. You know,
yeah, that's it.
Still am looking for.
You always get chases. You're always getting the chases every time I see you, all the time.
No, I don't.
But that was a jar of teeth and a big nail. That's what he has. He has a big nail and a jar of teeth.
Yeah, but I don't have Darby. I don't have that.
Oh, one chase you can't find because of the AEW Smarks.
No, it's not even the Smarks. I don't think it ever was on the West Coast because I don't know of anybody on the West Coast who ever got one.
I think it's the Walmart employees. Did I tell you about that Walmart employee in one of my groups that I'm in?
Yeah. But you know.
Still mad about that.
Walmart never got that series of the Thunder Rosa and all of them.
That's not true. That's where I got my Thunder.
Well, I know, but at mine, around me, they didn't. And they haven't been carrying AEW a lot. Target's been getting all of them.
Yo, I saw a bunch of clearance ones the other day, like you said. I saw a bunch of clearance of Adam Page, Adam Cole, and Britt Baker.
We're going to start seeing them at like Ollie's or someplace like that here soon enough.
Yeah.
TJ Maxx.
Dude, I go to Marshall's and Ross and look for and Big Lots because they get them.
Yeah.
Problem is those places don't mark them down. They mark them up. And I don't fucking get it. I swear to God, a basic WWE figure that usually is like $9.98 at Walmart is like $15 at a Big Lots. I'm like, get your head out of your ass, guys.
What the frick? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah. There was a while where every figure they carried for wrestling was $20. If it was a basic, if it was elite, if it was a Funko, I couldn't believe it. I was like, what are you guys doing? They guys got to get their act together. Mario Lopez can't carry you forever.
I mean, but AC Slater, I mean, come on.
Yeah, that's true. Justin Time thought that you were going to say you're going to got a mini Ricky.
I wish.
There's nothing mini about Ricky.
No. No. But no, seriously, like the mini ones, they had the 2 Danhausens. They had 2 Britt Bakers. Of course, they fucking are doing a chase of Britt Baker. Oh. Adam Cole, Bebe, Orange Cassidy. I want to say, I'm trying to think of the package. It had all of them on there, but those are the only ones I can remember offhand. But yeah, it's very interesting. I'm sure they're going to do a series
to Danhausen. That dude was top of the world when he got signed by AEW, and he was injured. They put him in like 1 or 2 matches, and then that is it. I've seen nothing of him since. Nothing online.
No.
I have. He is supposed to be doing some things for them right around Halloweenish, but it's not going to be in a wrestling capacity because he's still injured.
Is he still injured? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's going to be out till like mid-November.
God damn.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You know who needs a rest is Orange Cassidy. He needs a rest.
Yeah. He's going to end up like Mox, bleeding everywhere.
Mox does that on purpose. It's not by accident.
Yeah.
Well, that's the kind of stuff that
I
should stay in the indies.
I'm at the impression now that he does not blade because he's cut that place so much that it just like naturally he can slap his head and it'll just bleed.
Like Cody's paper thin head.
Mm.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what we didn't do?
We
Is
didn't say
ask
what we
what's
were
in
drinking.
glass.
Your show.
Yeah,
It's
we
your
didn't.
show.
We didn't.
Yeah.
We didn't say that. So it's
Yeah.
episode 1. Forgive me, forgive the fact that I have a special guest. So hey, special guest, what are you drinking? What's in your glass?
I'm actually having vodka and sparkle ice. So it's like $2. It's great.
Oh, $2 vodka or $2 sparkle
All
ice?
together. By the time you put it all together, because we got the big
Oh.
old bottle of Sky vodka, and it was like 2 for 1, and it was $17. And it was like so we got like fucked 3 liters of vodka for less than $20, and then the sparkle ices are $1 a piece. It is great. It was great. It's like keep the party going,
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Digi, I see your cup.
Everclear and coffee. Everclear.
There you go. Woohoo! And me, I'm at work, so I've got regular Coke. However, I do have a split of champagne in here in my fridge, my pink fridge. So I don't know. Maybe we'll pop it open. I don't know. See.
We'll see if there's a reason to party, celebrate.
Yeah, but it's like cheap shit. It's not good shit. So
Well, I mean, we
it's
got
the shit
March
like the
here,
hotels.
so
When you go to a hotel and they're like, "Oh, look, happy anniversary. Here's a bottle of wine."
yeah.
I stayed in this hotel in DC. I thought it was the best hotel in the world. As soon as I walked in, there was one of those little single bottles of champagne right on the pillow. I was like, this place fucking rules.
And then you taste the champagne and it's like ass.
Free is delicious. That's just a fact of life, brother.
And I don't know. I could give you free dirt water. It wouldn't taste that great.
Would be if I didn't have to pay for it. Tell you, dirt water tastes way different when you pay for it.
That's fair.
Does it?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Cole Cabana would agree with me. Free is better.
Oh, well, yeah, duh. Yeah, he would.
When I met him at a show out here, he was wearing like a Car Shield shirt. And one of the guys was asking why he had a Car Shield shirt. He's like, "Do you work for me?" He's like, "No, I mean, it's what I got." And I was like, I was right behind the guy in line, and I turned, I just said out loud, I was like, "Free is free, buddy. If you tell me they would hand you a Car Shield shirt right now, you wouldn't put it on." And then Cole just goes, "This guy gets it."
Yeah. Let me tell you, when I saw Dynamite in Stockton, okay, I was not expecting to see the opening match was Colt Cabana and Brandon Cutler. I was like, oh my God. And of course, I'm like far away, and there were like everybody was like taller than me in front of me, standing up. And I was like, I can't see Colt Cabana. Yeah.
Well,
yeah. I was sad. I'm like, ah. And then I was like, hey, you didn't tell me you were going to wrestle. And then, he didn't see my message. And he's like, ah, shit, that was a week ago. I didn't see your message. I'm sorry. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well. Anyways. So,
Say la vie.
Shit happening in wrestling that's kind of, I don't know. And Marsh, it's funny because, since you've been gone, it's been a lot. I know Kelly Carson, everybody. Hey, you've missed a bunch. Like,
I wouldn't say I missed it.
Well, what do you think about Jade Cargill getting signed to WWE? I'm just curious from your standpoint.
I think it's a cool and smart move, and I think the only thing that's going to stop her from being successful is her own ego, and that's what is going to have to check it, right? So if she really thinks she's hot shit and is not willing to listen, she will fall flat on her face. This sounds weird. I don't think this is going to be the case. I think she's going to do very, very well, because I think she really is a high-level athlete who's passionate to learn. I think she's either going to end up like Lacey, and we're going to end up seeing a shitload of potential go down the drain, or she's going to step up like a Bianca with a real like dedication that's forced in by the person who's got to appear on screen. I don't think she's going to fall flat on her face.
Well,
but I still think it's a coin toss.
And here's some signs that something ain't quite right yet. She's been shown twice with the tease of she's gonna do something, and it's just she gets shown in front of a camera in wrestling gear for no fucking reason. Then she's posting pretty much the same gimmick that she had in AEW. That's what she's gonna do here with WWE. It's like,
there's nothing wrong with her presentation. Why would you change it?
Because if that's all she's ever gonna be, it's oh great. And I mean this with all due respect, another sassy black woman on the roster doing the same shit on the main roster. We're going to run into the same line of AEW women. Everybody's punk rocking in leather. And that's going to take away from her shine.
Not to come off like a fucking white guy speaking for somebody else, even though I'm Mexican, I have no problem with another sassy black woman on the roster. I don't think we have too many. I don't think it's this epidemic that we have to worry about, first off. But
not secondly, an epidemic, but
yeah,
if she's supposed to be the showcase, if she's supposed to be that great new thing, I would want to differentiate her from everybody. That's my thought. As I would,
I think the only similarity she has with Bianca is she's black and has muscles. I think anyone who's making comparisons outside of that is forcing them, because Bianca may be sassy at times, but she's been white meat babyface the whole time. And she's been, I'm going to get it done. I'm going to do it on my own. I'll get to the back of the line. Jade is not. Jade is red carpet, bright lights. She's closer to the Miz than she is Bianca, or Maurice. Like, she's closer to that kind of character. And to be honest, my only concern for her is that she's not great on the mic and she's not that great in the ring. But if you protect her, sort of how they were trying to protect Ronda, she could step up and step into it. Bianca wasn't incredible when she showed up. She's incredible now. She did. And even when Bianca won the Rumble, there was hesitation from some of us fans. I mean, just because he's always bringing it up. I mean, Bishop specifically and me specifically, we talked about it on our shows where we were like, look, she's not bad, but she's not a WrestleMania main eventer. She's got 4 months to get that shit together. And she did. She absolutely did. By the time it happened and the execution of it all, you went, she fucking nailed it. And I think that there's every reason to believe Jade will also be that. Mm-hmm. But my fear is... By thinking that, my fear is that I'm also assuming that guys like Bryan Danielson and Dustin Rhodes and QT Marshall, as much as I don't like them, it's assuming that none of them are capable trainers. Right? And this is either going to end up, the Jade Cargill experiment is going to be an expose on how terrible the training system is outside of WWE, or flip into a highlight of how capable Jade Cargill is, but it's still going to indict the training system of AEW. You know what I mean?
One way or the other, yeah. It's because I look at it, and much as Justin's saying there, it would be a wise move to put her in NXT, get her used to the way things are done, because there's a different style between both companies. Give her a little bit of time, give her some warm-up, and then throw her to a main roster, and I think that would improve her chances dramatically.
Yeah.
But I feel like they're going to shoot her off to Raw or SmackDown, and that's where it's going to fall off the rails quick. 6 months tops.
It's where it could. Now, if you protect her like Ronda Rousey, they did a really bang-up job. Although the fans turned on her, every match Ronda had was better than the last match she had. And it's really all you can ask. The problem is they put a title on her immediately and then had her run through every single championship contender. So, in turn, she shit down the roster as she went on, which is why the crowd turned on her. If they keep Jade away from the title and have her barrel up the roster to the championship, I think you're going to not have the fans turn on her.
Unless that's what they want. Becky Lynch thing? I mean,
yes.
Because Becky busted her ass and then some.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I want so badly to know more about the Becky Lynch story, but specifically before SummerSlam 2018, because if you look at everything before that breakout moment where she turned on Charlotte in the triple threat, she was only winning and she was having short matches, and she was having these matches on TV. She had the longest winning streak of anyone, and the biggest winning record of anyone in WWE at the time.
Mhm.
I want to know how many times, because I know that I know Road Dogg was big in her corner at the time. I want to know how many times they said, all right, we got Alexa Bliss coming out. She needs to steamroll some motherfucker. Let's put Becky in and have him go. I want to know how many times someone said, wait, let's use someone else for that. And then when they have someone else, like, we have this person in there, we just need to get them some reps. They don't have to win. Yeah, I got the perfect person for you. I want to know how much that was known and sought out further back, because part of the reason she got over with the crowd organically and it boiled over to the point where they just needed her to turn on Charlotte was because she was winning when we saw her. Every time we saw her, she was winning and she was doing good. And so you can't deny that there is a psychology to wrestling fans where if we see someone lose, they must suck. We see someone win, they must be good. No matter how much we know about the actual world of booking, we never not like the winners.
Well,
You know?
it's like you can't tout somebody as, the greatest of all time if they're losing every other match. I mean, that was the one big gripe about Bray Wyatt was, here's this guy, the eater of worlds, and whenever the matches counted, he would lose. I mean, and that was character-wise. It took away from some of that shine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like she can really benefit from NXT. I did think that it wouldn't be a bad move to bring her in and actually clean house in NXT, be the next dominant champion for like a year. Give her the Tiffany Stratton treatment, Give her the Mandy Rose treatment. Let her just show, especially
give her the Asuka treatment. Asuka was quick shit.
Asuka was, and she started off with no one is ready for Asuka, and Asuka blew up and blew through, right? You could have easily brought in a Jade saying, I'm too good for this. I'm too good to be down here. Turn her into a mean heel who just dominates the NXT roster for a year until eventually maybe she does relinquish it and said, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of carrying you while I'm out. And people boo. And then she shows up on Raw and we go, oh shit.
Like,
no
that would be an angle. I could get behind that. Like, a lot. I really could, because that strikes me.
Mm-hmm. Hey, man, I'm a good booker.
No, it's like with, well, some people have issue with Brian Pillman Jr.'s promo. I looked at it as that is the darkest promo I have ever seen him cut. It didn't shy away from who he's related to, but it took a twist.
Yes.
And I like that. You saw the bullshit he did on AEW. You see the promo he just cut on NXT. That is a night and day character.
Yeah.
The kid's got the skills. He's really good. He can work a ring.
It is interesting because they took the opposite route that they took with Breaker. With Braun Breaker, it was let's just pretend he's not a Steiner, but wink at the camera and say he's a Steiner, and we just won't call him a Steiner.
Yeah, it's not like we can't hear it in his voice and his intonations.
Yeah. And so they always kind of wink with Breaker. There's none of that with Brian Pillman Jr.
Well,
so I liked.
You can't really walk away from that Brian Pillman factor, though. I mean, that's one of those names.
Yeah, I think it needs to be part of who he is, and so I think it's good that they brought it in at least one way.
Yeah. They addressed it, and they got out in front of it, and it was like, no, I'm not him. I'm an entirely different monster.
Yeah.
And I like that.
Yeah. I'm excited to see what he does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think, I don't know, I really enjoyed watching Pillman when he was on AEW, so I'm really glad that,
Have you seen his other stuff? Like his indie book, it was clear he was the one making the calls.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But, it's another case of, they have too many people and,
well,
whatever.
Yeah, it's the WCW syndrome.
Yeah.
Clearly.
But, honestly, like Tuesday was interesting because I'm like, okay, yeah, you have NXT, you have AEW. Both of them, to be honest, since, I think we said on episode 1 before, I know Marcia, you and I have talked about it. It's like it
We've
got
talked about
really bad. Both of them have getting bad, pretty much.
They were both hard to watch for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I haven't gone back to NXT because I'm like, is it still hard to watch?
No, it's gotten better.
Is it gotten better?
It's very, very good.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like I would rather watch NXT than a lot of the main roster stuff, just because it's for the amount of time they have.
Mhm.
They get to the point of their stories. It's not, convoluted bullshit.
Mhm.
They have some really good matches with some really great pacing. The crowd is always hot for things that they're really into.
I fucking hate that crowd still. The crowd is still bullshit. I just want you to know that, Amanda. The crowd is still a
You
bunch of bullshit.
definitely hate that crowd.
That crowd fucking want to be the show so goddamn bad. They almost ruin it. I'll say this though, Amanda, about NXT. The commentary's gotten flatter. The characters have gotten louder. And everyone who you thought was ready to move on is still there.
Yes.
So when you watch it, you do watch a whole lot of like, this could be on the main roster.
Mhm.
But you're watching them sprinkle in these people who definitely need work. And that's what's kind of cool is it's actually almost like a more robust show. Where before it was like, this person's too good to be here, move them along. Now it's like, we're just going to keep them here for longer and then allow the other ones. Because that's the other thing about the main roster. It ain't broke. SmackDown and Raw are doing bigger numbers than they've ever done. They're selling out houses. LA Knight's the goddamn man. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they don't need them yet. And the good thing about NXT is they don't need them on their main roster. And they're all 21, 22. So we got time, baby.
Yeah.
That's what NXT feels like now.
And they're bringing down some of these names. Like when they brought Becky down, their ratings went through the roof. And she's been able to work with these newer people. Well, newer people. It's done nothing but elevate them. Like even Asuka was just down for a match and it was a banger
against Roxanne, Amanda. So fucking good.
Yeah.
Dude, and Tiffany is high level. She's one of the best women in their roster on any show. I was watching just the other day the NXT No Mercy pay-per-view with or the premium live event with Becky. Tiffany starts bleeding and she keeps like looking at it, and at a certain point she knows the camera's looking at her, she's looking at it, and she rolls her eyes like ew. And I was like, how fucking tough is she to just keep going through this, see all this blood, and remain in character? Not
a professional.
Even phased. Yep. Fucking pro.
Nice.
Dude, you would love her.
I like the NXT version of the Hex with Isla Dawn and Elba Fire.
What's this? Justin Time says the NXT crowd has a weird, unexplained hatred for Roxanne. Are they shitting on Roxanne? I don't watch every week. So are they shitting on Roxanne?
What the hell, Justin? Like
they're hot and cold, but it's mostly the Cena effect. Because that's kind of where they put Roxanne is like the plucky upstart golden girl, kind of like what Bayley used to be.
Yeah, but she's amazing.
Right. I'm not arguing the point, but yeah, she's getting the John Cena treatment. One night they're hot, the next night they're cold. It's like, whatever. She's damn good.
We know that whole crowd is just,
they're so stupid. They shit all over LA Knight.
Yeah.
I know.
Every minute. And he was one of the best things they had going.
Yeah. And then now look at him. Dude, LA Knight is like one of my fucking... The way I watch LA Knight and talk to people about LA Knight now is how I used to do it with like 1-2-3 Kid and X-Pac. And because I was always going on about this guy's amazing. You guys don't get it, right?
I was saying the same thing with his Impact work. He was fucking amazing. And he's only gotten better.
Yeah. He's so good, dude. He's so good. And I've heard people say, yeah, but what's next? I don't give a shit what's next. He can keep this running.
Go. Yep. When something's over when you go to AEW and you don't hear the woo, you hear
Really?
I just thought that was amazing. I was I was like, yeah, okay, guys, all right. It was very interesting, and I'm just like, yeah, because it was great. But it's like if you didn't know who he was like before or anything, or before he came to the main roster, it's like you gotta look and say, what the fuck was that maximum male models bullshit?
Duh.
Like it's just like, oh my god, thank God they brought LA Knight back and got rid of that shit.
Yeah, yeah. Incredible.
Well, he strikes me in a way, and this is going to be an odd comparison. He has sort of the same charisma as, I want to say, Mr. Anderson. Because when that dude gets the mic dropped down, crowds went nuts. Every other point, they were just soft on him. But when he would do his whole entrance with that mic, man, it got people going. And LA Knight can carry that forward beyond just a mini moment to something bigger. And that's the defining change.
Yeah. He's badass.
I don't know. It seems like, I don't know. I think that LA Knight's more charismatic than
For sure.
Mr. Kennedy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think, I don't know. I guess I've never really been a fan of his, I guess. So I don't know. Maybe
I didn't really get hot on him until he went to, again, Impact, because he could do a bit more. He could be, a lot tougher, a lot less bullshit, because they work differently there. Look at that whole aces and eights thing. He shut the hell up. But prior to that, he was all mouth, all mic, and ready to go.
Yeah.
What was the topic you wanted us to talk about, Amanda? Because I keep hijacking the show to talk about LA Knight and Roxanne.
Oh, no, you can hijack the show and talk about LA Knight. That's what we do here. You totally derailed us, so it's okay. That's the spirit of the damn show.
Yeah, man, we're the chaser. We have to get that bad taste of the Monday show out of people's mouth.
Mm-hmm. You're in my role now. You're the one that's diverting. Instead of me talking about Ricky Starks and his ass, it's you talking about LA Knight. Very interesting.
Hey, we got it down to once a show. I'm proud of you.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, I really haven't yet, but that's coming.
She's saving it.
I'm saving it. I'm
Mhm.
saving it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no. I mean,
so wait, you were talking about that Tuesday though. What do you think about the Tuesday NXT versus AEW business?
I thought it was stupid because first of all, is it necessary? No. Did I watch either one? No, I did not. I was curious about things, but I didn't watch any of it because, honestly, like it's not going to get two things. One, honestly, right now, the best written show is Collision, and I'm not saying that about Peach Boy, but it just actually is a better show. I don't know who's writing it, who's producing things, but it's better. I know Chris Hero is one of them, but there's someone else there too that they're doing some pretty good work, and it almost makes me wish like, oh, that should be on the other shows, especially because I guess are they doing the Max deal? I heard yes. I don't know, but
if they do that, do you think they'll put the pay-per-views on HBO and just be part of the subscription?
That could be interesting.
I don't know. But if they look at WWE and with Peacock, but now Peacock, you have that Peacock Premium. So that's the only way you can get WWE now.
What? That's not true, is it?
You can get it on the other, but you still get the ads. If you do the premium, you get no ads and you get Michael Cole talking more.
Yeah. Yeah. I always got it with no ads.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it used to be no ads, and now it's ads. But at first, they took it away completely.
Yeah.
And then they put it back because people bitched about it, and then they put it back with ads.
Don't interrupt the show.
Oh,
Well,
gross.
there's two things on this, and we often refer to Tony Khan as the Mark with the checkbook. And this is no less true.
Money Mark, they call it.
Oh, is that what it is? I'm sorry. I'm not up on the IWC lingo.
No, I'm talking about in the territory days. It was called the Money Mark.
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
When random dudes like Herb Abrams popped up, it was Money Mark.
I know it's a joke. I'm playing into the joke. Fucking Marsh. So, like WCW, they had the Monday Night Wars, and I feel like that was Tony's piss poor attempt to bring that on, and it just his bitching online took away from what was going on at his own show. That people just kind of like, yeah, what the fuck ever. When people should be happy that we have any time of day, any day of the week. You want wrestling? It's there. This is an unprecedented time for the business in general. That none of that shit matters. None of it. Are you making ratings? Are you able to pay your talent? Can you go on to TV? If you can do that, good on you. All this other shit is just noise, and it just further turns you away from a product.
I think a lot of what Tony says is just noise that turns you away from the product. Just Time says he doesn't care about tribalism, ratings, or demos. Both AEW and NXT had awesome shows. I love tribalism because my tribe is always right. I think ratings are relevant to what is happening, and I think that demos are only important to idiots who read the magazines 30 years ago. That's how
That's
I feel.
fair. We are
You know
the
why,
dive bar of relevancy.
Yeah. It's just funny because like the more I've seen people talk about like actual TV ratings and actual demos in the TV world, it's not this wrestling bubble of assumed knowledge and carried on knowledge. The demos don't mean what they used to mean. The overall ratings don't mean what they used to mean, but consistency means something and growth means something, right? So
Yeah.
the demo means so little that it's so funny to me because back in the days of the 90s, when Steve Beverly taught Dave Meltzer how TV ratings worked because he was a television producer who also happened to run a wrestling newsletter, Dave twisted that into being this number is the end all be all number. And he learned that from Beverly, right?
Yep.
Then you fast forward to 30 years later, and Dave can never admit that anything's wrong or different or changed in his mind. So for him to admit that the ratings mean something different now, that TV's run differently, that even the demo is not as important as it used to be, it's so funny to me to hear the people just rail on the demo. Well, they won this demo. That demo doesn't. If
Hell,
the demo meant
TV
everything,
ratings are shit. Like TV is becoming a dying form of media.
sure, but let's just put this into wrestling perspective.
Okay.
If the demos meant everything, WWE wouldn't have gotten $3 billion end up on Fox because they didn't have the demo, right? Longevity and growth mean something, even in the idea of you can see dips. WWE has proven that growth in ratings and demos don't matter because they're still the most expensive company in the world if you want to license their shit. And if you want to say AEW is doing better because our demo's higher, WWE has the higher contracted licensing agreements. So what importance does that demo have? If you're trying to talk about the business, talk about the business. The business comes down to dollars and cents, right?
That advertisers are willing to pay a fuckload more to be on WWE TV than AEW. That's just hands down.
They just flat out are. And on top of that, massive companies are willing to spend a shitload of money to get WWE on their channel. And they're just not buying for AEW the same way. And that's not to say that they won't and they aren't a little bit. AEW didn't get their deal because a bunch of people were nipping at their heels for who's going to get it, right?
Yeah.
They got their deal because there was a guy on top who was friends with Tony and he signed the check and then got fired for doing it, right? Like,
because they didn't want to end up like Ted Turner. Ted Turner lost his ass. Like when it came to WCW, people did not want to deal with that. That's why WWE was always a safe bet because it was tried, proven, and there was no question about it, and it wasn't reliant upon a TV network to carry itself.
Yeah. I think as far as the fans go, all they need to worry about is if they're enjoying a show or not. If you don't like it, don't watch it, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like, it's just that simple.
Go support your local independents. If you don't like what's on TV, you'll probably find something local.
Yeah. Just go find the thing you like to watch and like it. Here's a weird bit. Like, I love Edge. Like, Edge is amazing. I'm only 50-50 on whatever Adam Copeland's doing in AEW because I just don't like the product enough to dig in. And I feel like that there's this weird narrative that you can't support or enjoy wrestlers without actively supporting and watching everything they do. I love Liv Morgan. I've not bought a bundle of Sage from her. You know what I mean? Because I don't want Sage. I don't need it. Like,
I would buy a chicken from her.
Yeah, I'd get a dozen eggs for sure.
Yeah.
But like she sells candles and sage and crystals on her Shop Live More site, right? Great. Amazing. I don't want that product. I can still like buy a Liv Morgan shirt or get excited to see a Liv Morgan toy in the store and say, I hope she's very successful and be really happy when the sage sells out online.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean I have to like buy everything she puts out every time. Like there's a fucking reality here that people are mixed on. Oh, look, Adam Copeland went to a show I don't like. I hope he has a shitload of fun and makes a ton of money. Doesn't mean I have to tune in every week and doesn't mean I have to shit on it either. You know what I mean?
We went this weird way from, you know, back in the day, there was kayfabe, the curtain was closed, you rarely got a peek beyond that, to now the curtain is open, and that's become this weird kayfabe point where it's become, as we've said before, tribalism. And it's weird. Like, it really, I don't understand it, but maybe that's just because I come from a different generation. I just don't.
I mean, I don't have tribalism isn't that weird. It's being a 49ers fan because you grew up in the Bay. It's being a Chargers fan because you grew up in LA or in San Diego. You know what I mean? It's being a huge Cardinals fan your whole life because you were actually alive in middle school and remember when the Cardinals became an Arizona state. That's tribalism, right? It's fuck the Cowboys because they're always against my Niners, right? Well, it's the same thing. It's just your team. It's your home team. But don't pretend it's something deeper.
Well, yeah. I mean, not so much deeper. I'm not really saying it right. I think that's the problem. There's a point of being a favorite for that team, but you still like football. You might shit on a team, but you'll still watch the product. Whereas it's become this weird, well, the IWC, I would say the average viewer is like, cool, wrestling, I'm on. You know, they may be casual to one or the other or both. I think the IWC in general is probably one of the worst metrics to take on virtually anything.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I did love that NXT show, though. That was fucking cool.
But is Booker T still?
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I can't. I just can't.
I don't
Shooky,
like him.
whatever, ducky, quack. We all know that Justin, he's doppelganger down there.
I just don't like the way he does commentary. Like,
I don't either.
Everybody else who ran side chair there or heel or whatever the hell he's supposed to be, there was always a little tonality, less of a nonsensical banter. Mm-hmm. And I get why he's there. He's not my taste. Then again, my taste was Joey fucking Styles, the best to ever do it, as far as I'm concerned.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, he ran a whole fucking show solo. I mean, that's some shit. That's not easy.
Yeah. I like Booker T a lot, and I've always really liked Vic Joseph. And somehow, after listening to them after so long, they've both gotten kind of flat. Booker's clearly just doing it for himself and having fun. He doesn't give a shit about nothing. And I get a kick out of that. But Vic's gotten really generic wrestling announcer.
Yeah.
Like, I love Vic. He's amazing. And he's the nicest guy. And something about him, his excitement is a little off. And he sounds really like he wasn't putting over the guys.
Right.
And I don't think he realized that. He was trying to put over like how tough it was to take this move or kind of the generic tenacity of being a wrestler and being in this match for so long that I feel like that he really has gotten away from like character development while on the booth, right? Like no further story was told from them. Like what?
Michael Cole needs to go down and kick his ass.
Maybe. I don't
Colt's
know,
been-
man.
Like, he's the dude. He's the head of all the commentators, apparently. I don't know if that's changed since Anthem, but
I wonder if Vic realizes that's probably why he didn't get SmackDown and Kevin Patrick did. You know what I mean? They literally put
Kevin Patrick's so passionate about what he's doing. You can hear it in his voice.
he just loves it all.
Mm-hmm.
But there is something to be said about them putting in somebody who's never done a day of commentary their whole life versus a guy who's been in the company for years doing commentary. To me, that should shake them a little bit, right? Look, man, you're not doing something that they want.
Yeah.
They had the opportunity to move you and they didn't, a couple times now. I think that the real thing is that he just sounds a little flat and he's not putting over the characters. He's putting over the match. And I think that's a big difference.
Is there anybody on your local scenes you think would be better to put in his place? I mean, somebody you see some shine for?
No, we got terrible commentators out here.
Amanda?
Mm-hmm. Well,
Except for Frank. If Frank heard that, he'd be sad. Frank Powers is actually amazing, but he's a bit Jimmy Hart on the stick. So
yeah. Commentary is one of those things where it's either really good or it's really, really bad. So, and on the indies especially. But honestly, I think that for me right now, the only one who I think, well, the only two, I'll just put it that way, I think that are really good on commentary right now that are doing indies, Veda Scott, but then she's always been really good. And I didn't understand why AEW didn't sign her because she did great with Taz. I mean, it was great to hear the two of them. And then also from West Coast Pro, but also James does other things. But James Kincaid, he's awesome. Love him to death. Those are probably the two of the best. I don't know who's doing Defy anymore. They used to have, I think it was Rich Bocchini was doing it. But the way they did Defy before is different than how they do it now, because I think they just show it. It was really stylized when they were at the first couple of years when they had Defy on, God, I remember what channel it was. Yeah, so it's different. So it's a lot different now. But that's the problem with some of the commentary. It's just like it's either really, really bad or it's
Rich Bocchini?
Good, but very rarely good.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of the thing is, there are two positions I think that you don't see so much as a push to really work with, to get that training is being a referee and being a commentator. Like, I know of very few points you can do that with somebody reputable. You want to go to a wrestling school, everybody and their fucking brother. Hell, I think you and Marsh runs a school. Who knows? Who knows with him?
Marsh, I don't know.
Yeah.
No, I do not have a school. No.
But
I could teach.
To do with this.
Now, I could teach Tony Khan how to book.
I thought that's what we do.
Yeah, no, we have. Yeah. Marsh and I can tell you, back to episode 1, we booked things. Huh, Marsh? Well, hi.
You coming back or?
Coming back?
He left
Mark
us.
coming back?
I don't
Fart
know.
gun? Haven't heard that. Just
Willis has a vegan burger and a sparkling iced kiwi strawberry.
Well, you go. Cheers to you, Willis.
Yeah. Good luck to your colon, sir.
Oh boy, don't say that because I have to drive him I think I'm driving him to West Coast Pro this weekend. I don't know.
Air fresheners are your friend. Air fresheners are your friend.
I know, but still, not in my little car.
Not my little car. It ain't gonna matter. Open the windows. Injury.
I know I'm not doing the CM Punk thing.
Oh,
Okay.
no. That means something entirely different.
Yes. Yeah, well, I will say this. I was very irritated at Stockton, fucking WWE marks, fucking chanting CM Punk when Colt Cabana was wrestling. That's fucking rude. I shut that shit down in my area. I'm like, fucking go there.
Well, and the thing is that's unfortunately the biggest point to his name that the common fan knows is that shit. And, you know, it's settled and done. You know, neither side wants to talk about it, but this is the stupid shit that people bring up. The IWC.
Yeah, I know. My thing is like, dude, do you not understand the guy's a fucking douche canoe?
Douche canoe.
Nobody wants him. Obviously, WWE said, no, we're not bringing him back.
Well,
Yeah.
I've heard conflicting stories on that. And
really?
Yeah, I've heard yes and I've heard no. I honestly think he's going to end up on the Independence in Chicago, or he's just not going to do it.
No, he's not going to do that.
I don't know. He's done a couple of run-ins before.
Oh yeah, he did with the stupid mask on. I think this. I got it. I got a new drink.
Not in Chicago, by the way.
No, it wasn't, but he did it.
Yeah, he did it in Milwaukee. That's what it was.
Yeah. Christopher Willis says somebody's got to take Tony Khan's phone away, and I think we're going to get to that.
What did Tony Khan do?
We'll get into that in just a minute, but I do want to say big shouts to Chris Willis for buying the purple Wrestling on the Rock shirt. I saw which one it was after you mentioned it. Went looked up on our shop. It was the fucking logo, dude. It wasn't like the old one that was just a drawing of us where you couldn't really tell, and it wasn't like a bunch of like just random little, because we have like all sorts of shirts that just barely have our notice. Like part of designing shirts was make shirts that don't say Wrestling on the Rock, so people who don't know the show still feel like they might want that shirt, right? But he went full out fucking target on his chest, Wrestling on the Rock's massive cup and ice. So fucking sick.
Yeah,
but I love it, man.
But before we talk about all of Tony Khan's meltdown, CM Punk and WWE, here's what I think happened. Based off of all the things that I've read and knowing the players involved who's writing these things, I think CM Punk was in talks with WWE. I think WWE doesn't need CM Punk for jack shit. And I think that when CM Punk started making demands, look, I'll come back, but I need this. It was a no-go. And I think they went like, oh yeah, well, we wouldn't give you that. And then he goes, but come on, man, it's me. You guys need me. It's like, no, we don't need you. And we'd be really happy to bring you in, but it's going to look exactly like this if we do it. Because the only reason they would ever want CM Punk right now is to piss off Tony Khan. And that's only a little bit of business. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's worth about this much. If we can bring you in because it'll piss off Tony Khan, we will. But if
because it's funny.
Because it's fucking funny. I mentioned this when Punk first had his first issue with AEW. Triple H has always had a way of bringing everyone back.
Mm-hmm.
When Vince was in charge and Bruno was out, Triple H had a way of mending that fence and getting Bruno into the Hall of Fame.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Billy Graham, Macho, all of them got deals back because Triple H. The one guy CM Punk has a fucking issue with happens to be Triple H.
Yep.
The only guy who knows how to mend every fucking fence in this world. So
which, yeah.
So in my mind, how I believe it played out, how I honestly think is I think they did talk. They said, absolutely, we'd be happy to bring you in. Punk went in there with his fucking ego on display, whipped his little tiny dinger on the table, and Triple H said, you can go ahead and zip that right back up and walk out.
Yeah, it's like, I got a sledgehammer. You're still working with thumbtacks, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah, I think CM Punk thought he was bigger shit than he is, and I think that they are absolutely right that they don't need him.
It's true.
They just flat out don't. Dude, we're selling out stadiums you guys couldn't put a third in when you were doing it.
Yeah, when you were
Would it be cool?
When you were,
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it'd be nostalgia, but with all the chaos and shit it would cause backstage with the roster they've got now, fuck that.
Yep.
Ain't worth it.
And the only reason they would bring him in, or the only way they would bring him in, knowing that is part of it, is if they were checking his ego at the door. And that's what this was. He came in with these demands, and he said, take it back with you. And he goes, whoa, I thought it was a negotiation. They said, that was your mistake.
Yep. You misunderstand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you misunderstand. You were negotiating. We were telling you what we give you.
Yeah. No, you were negotiating. We made an offer. Different levels here, pal.
Yep.
Go ahead and kiss a poster of Vince McMahon's ass on the way out.
I'm surprised that wasn't a marketing thing back in those days. Oh my God, that would have been so good.
Just a kiss here poster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Kiss My Ass Club, all bedazzled out.
I can make those.
Yeah. We can make the March Kiss My Ass Club.
No. But dude, seriously, looking at it and seeing the things that leaked from the people who leaked them, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
CM Punk went in there high and mighty, and they shut his ass down.
Yep. It went,
That's
no,
exactly what happened.
we'd take your wife before you. And that, I know that's a shoot.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. They've been trying to get her back for years because she was just so damn good.
Oh, yeah. She's great. She would still hold up. She's one of the few that you watch back then and go, yeah, she'd work now. I would say 9 out of 10 of the women wrestlers I see in matches back then, when she was active and doing stuff, I go, oh, they'd never float now.
And her promo skills were just top notch.
Yeah.
Straight out.
She was amazing. Did you want to hit up on Christopher Willis's Tony Khan issue there? Did you?
Yes. I don't know what you're talking about, Willis. What you talking about, Willis?
Jeez.
Okay, I'm sorry. Your name just fucking begs for people to say that.
No, that's kind of your fault, Willis.
Well, considering that Gary Coleman's last professional performance was for Postal 2, it's true. And if you've never played that game, you are missing out.
Never played that game, so I am missing out.
It is a bag of how politically incorrect and insulting can we be in one game.
Oh, wow.
Like, they were the company who made it, Running with Scissors, was sued by the Postal Service because the name of the game was Postal. And the Postal Service lost. It was so good. Like, that's my catchphrase. So good.
So good.
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
Lord.
Before we get into all that and we wait for Willis to figure out what the hell he's doing with that vegan burger killing his colon. So going through some of the indie stuff because it's cool. We have GCW was yesterday, and they've got a lot more shows going in. We've got Wrestling Revolver coming up.
Yeah.
Let's see. Tuesday's match, which for people who didn't know, if you wonder where Billy Starks went, she was challenging Miyu Yamashita for Sparks. Let's see. Masha was with Unagi Siaka, which is cool. Maki Ito was versus Jimmy Lloyd. Interesting.
That is interesting. Now, here's what I don't get. Okay. Okay. So, for as much bullshit as I get talking about peaches, okay?
Okay.
All right. How come it's okay for men to go goo goo gaga over Maki Ito? Okay. 1, 2, obviously, like a lot of Japanese people, I mean, and how she's, little schoolgirl, Harajuku girl, whatever, to me, it's like, I know she's obviously of legal age and whatnot, but she kind of looks like she isn't. And how come that's okay, but Marty Skrull's not okay? I'm just asking these questions because
I can answer them. Because unfortunately, you have a generation of men who were privy to the puppies commentary and whatnot. And that kind of stuck with some people. So far as the Japanese, believe me, it goes both ways. If you're a blonde white woman in Japan, you get the same amount of attention. All it is just a flip reverse. And, you know, is it really a cultural thing? Not really. Does it come off one-sided? Absolutely. Are we saying with Maki it's, you know, kind of a pseudo-pedo thing? I don't think so. Because
I think so.
if you've ever seen her up close, you know, like the TV versus reality factor.
No, I've seen her up close.
Right.
And
She
men
does a-
totally do that. I saw that. It was so disgusting.
Yeah, but,
That's some of
well, it is disgusting. You shouldn't be ogling these people. You know, you shouldn't be treating them with such disrespect, in my opinion.
No. But I was just like, are you kidding me? Like, you know, I just was very appalled by it. Very, very appalled by it. And, you know, I'm just like, damn, okay, well, shoot.
No,
like,
you're right.
you know.
Yeah, I think it's pretty bad too. She does look really, really young, and I don't know. I don't even enjoy her as a act. Like, I don't think she's a very good wrestler. I don't think she's a very good thing. So to me, it comes off even a little bit more perverse because it's also like, it's one thing when these dudes are ogling people who are really good at what they're doing. You know what I mean? Like, you can easily say Trish Stratton is not there because of her looks. Doesn't hurt the package, but that's not why she showed up.
Fair.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But
With-
still, either way, though.
With a gimmick like Maki Ito, you go, oh, she's not offering other things. You know what I mean? Like, you're strictly there because we want the fan base to ogle you in a way, and it's weird. So,
Well,
yeah,
people say the same shit about Rio. Rio looks like she's out of the 6th fucking grade.
yeah, I also don't think she's a good wrestler too. So yeah,
No.
but no, I don't disagree with
She
that.
is different. Cheetah doesn't follow that.
She is a really decent wrestler. She's not trash.
I like Cheetah. I do.
She has a little bit of
That's
growth to
because
do, I
had
think,
that
but
impromptu
she's
interview
solid.
with Cheetah. I like her.
Mm-hmm.
Yay for being a champion.
Oh, Yamashita? Yeah, like, she's not built typical. She doesn't wrestle typical. You know, it's like with Asuka, you know, she's not built typical. She's closer to strong style, I think, than most women are in Western product. So it, you know, it's a weird gimmick, so to speak. It's really fucking weird how it goes like this. People don't realize how they look when they say and do stupid shit.
Mm-hmm.
They don't realize it until they're called out, and then they're like, It's kind of like that. Like, professional wrestlers are not strippers, so there's no need to treat them as such.
Oh, they're not? I'm sorry. I'm sorry,
I
John
know.
Cena, for grabbing your ass then with 2 hands.
What a surprise. What a surprise.
Or
When
Where-
Lacey was doing the sassy Southern Belle gimmick to a local show out here, and we took a kid who was 11 at the time, this little guy, and was he 12? He was like 11, I think. And she came out and she was doing that bending over at the waist thing and all that, and he was all like, "Why is she doing that?" And I was like, "I don't know." On the drive home, he was like, "I've been thinking about it, and I don't know why Lacey just doesn't go be a dancer or something. I think she'd be happier."
Well, now
I think he
she's
said
an
stripper too,
OnlyFans.
but yeah.
Well, she's OnlyFans, and she's running a coffee shop now.
Yeah, I'm not saying that was the move, but I'm saying like sometimes
No,
that's the
but-
presentation you're giving. You know what I mean? Sometimes you're making people think that, and it's like don't also feed into an already difficult situation. You have enough
sure.
idiots over here telling Naya to sit on their face. We don't need you.
My
feeding
hole, my hole. Sorry.
Yeah.
that was awful.
You know
That
what?
was
I will give
so
her
wrong.
credit. People talked about her for like 2 months over that, and it was great. She
Yeah.
took the hit, but it was great.
You're so dumb.
Yeah. It's kind of like.
I am,
yeah.
but hey,
If she
It-
knew how to wrestle, then maybe, just maybe, you know, I don't know. It would, you know, it would be funnier. Well, no, it wouldn't be funny. But
Isn't
because
it
she
a
can't
first-
wrestle, it's damn hilarious.
Well, her first match back is Monday, so I guess we'll see. We don't know what she's been doing behind the scenes. I mean, I follow her social media, and I haven't seen much of anything except the occasional, hi, how you doing? I don't think she's a long-term contract because she doesn't have the WWE typical shit on her
Mhm.
her profile. So, and she's still going by her shoot name.
I wonder if she's back in part to put over Cargill.
That would make a lot of sense.
Maybe.
Build her as a monster, have Jade Cargill come in, have a couple matches, and you know what? Get sick and tired of this Nia problem. I'll solve it.
Yeah.
And then the problem is now you have a match with two people who are not good wrestlers. See how it goes.
Yep, that's untrustable.
Good luck.
That's, yeah.
May the odds be ever in your favor, Miss Cargill.
Yeah.
Uh,
Hotness.
I will say that, what is it? You have the next pay-per-view with Becky and what's her name are going at it. That's going to be fun.
Tegan?
God, huh? Oh no,
Is it
Tegan's already happened.
Oh, the Valkyrie one, right? Taya
Yeah,
Valkyrie?
Lyra.
Lyra
No,
Valkyrie. Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to
Yeah.
be good because they're both basically out of the same school.
Yeah. They had a really great video package that I'm going to show you where it talked about both their careers. It's fantastic. Yeah. Couple of Irish lasses
Fighting
Kicking
it out,
last.
man.
Mhm.
Love it.
I want Sheamus ringside on commentary.
That
I
would
came
be
to
so
see this
good.
banger.
Bring Drew out there, have the Bang Brothers on commentary.
No, you don't need Drew. Don't ruin everything with Drew.
Well, they're already ruining everything with Drew. So figured why not
No,
just
by,
go all out.
utilizing him.
Yeah,
Little Drew
well,
McInfart.
I liked him when he was elsewhere. I think
Yeah.
I really did. It was just
When
a
he was
different.
elsewhere.
Scotland?
He did
Oh, Scotland. Yeah.
He did Scotland, England, Impact, Ireland,
Oh yeah, he was an
and
Impact.
somewhere else. Yeah, he was in Impact as Drew Galloway.
Yeah, what a chud.
A cannibalistic humanoid underground dweller. That's
Did
Drew
you-
McIntyre.
Yeah. Did you want to talk about Tony's meltdown?
That's what.
Yeah, I don't even know what the hell what's going on here.
I thought you had it.
No,
He
that's why I was asking
read
Willis. What the hell?
No,
I don't know.
I thought Digi told me he had it. I have one tweet
Who has it?
from
There,
I have one tweet from Tony, and I heard there was more.
there's
But the only one I have and solved.
I don't know what's going on.
Tony tweeted this afternoon,
Oh,
days later, and it's because all the numbers came out, right? So
I
how the
was
ratings
busy
went.
I was adulting.
Okay, no one cares about you and your job, lady.
yeah.
Hey, that's how I afford to go
NXT
to wrestling
had
now.
921,000 average viewers.
Yeah.
AEW Dynamite, complete with Adam Copeland and Christian and Dana Bryanson and all them, had 609. So they got like 2/3, right?
Mhm.
Tony tweeted this week 2 active decades-long rating streaks from 2 great legends were ended. With all due respect, until this week's head-to-head AEW on TBS versus WWE on USA. So, mind you, he's taking credit for ending these streaks because it's strictly because they went head-to-head. Neither John Cena nor The Undertaker had ever been on a WWE show with under 1 million total viewers and under 400K in the demo. First off, what a fucking idiot.
Oh, let's see.
That's so stupid.
It's stupid also because like he just from a super base level, he could have tweeted this out about every single WWE legend that he ever signed. He could have said this about Mark Henry, about Big Show. He could have said it about Sting. Could have said it about Daniel Bryan. Could have said it about Christian. Well, maybe not Christian. Christian went to Impact and they had shit ratings over there. Actually, most of the time he was there, they were doing 2 million plus.
Yeah.
So you might have been able to say it about Christian. You definitely probably could have said it about Smo Joe. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, Tony, your whole job is destroying these streaks and giving this shit over. Like, yes, anyone homegrown in WWE is used to over 1 million viewers because that's just what they do day to day, pal. That's called going to work.
Yep.
So for him to take this
Yep,
weird
brother.
credit, yeah, this weird credit, he could have said the same thing about Becky. She wasn't
Yeah.
on NXT when it was on television. You know what I mean? Like, he's trying so hard to make this about him in some way and trying so hard to come up with something that makes him sound like he did a good thing and was a big shot here. That he goes, I ruined Cena and Undertaker's streak of over 1 million viewers. And I ruined it by giving the same defeat to Edge.
Yeah.
I gave Edge the smallest platform he's ever been on in the history of his life. 609 viewers. Although, wasn't he on Rampage at less?
Yes.
Like,
Mhm.
yeah, like 300,000. It's like, fuck.
Yeah.
Well,
I think
the
so.
way it kind of went,
Yeah, go ahead.
and
I'm
this
done with
is
my
going,
rant.
it went back to the 10th. You know, he was, you know, all into the show, live tweeting matches coming on. Like, you know, he was putting everything over. And then House of Wrestling started talking shit and, you know, about Triple H and Shawn Michaels sending Tony a message, and, you know, he put I have a message for them, and it's a wooden door with bald asshole spray painted on it. Then he went, you know, all into just how great the show was, and now we're in overtime, and just, it was a whole fucking thing.
Mhm.
And then he started in on, you know, just bitching, just straight up bitching. He got compared to Vince, and that set him the fuck off. What was it? It was the difference is that Vince has the power and influence to take them cheap shots. He's earned the right to make them. Tony Khan is Vince if you ordered him from Temu. You can shop like a billionaire, but you'll get the cheapest tat doing so. And then he was pulling the, you know, yes, Vince has allegedly used his power and influence to shoot a lot of shots. And it's just been on from there. Like, it's all reshots. It's nothing, you know, of any major importance. It's half commentary to people who pissed him off. He did not like being compared to Vince. And
Also, I'm not saying I know a bunch of shit about what goes on backstage, but I've heard more than one rumor swirling around that Tony might be in a glass house on that. So also maybe fucking calm down.
yeah, I have been told the same. And I'm like, you need to chill, buddy. Like,
Yep.
you need room to grow.
So what do you think, Amanda, about Tony Khan ruining The Undertaker and John Cena's streaks of always being on shows with more than 1 million viewers?
Oh, Tony Khan.
Hasn't Tony Khan ever only produced 2 episodes ever that had 1 million viewers? So he wouldn't even know what that feels like.
No.
Yeah, that was about my understanding.
Yeah, go
And
ahead.
you know who was on them? Not CM Punk. If I'm not mistaken.
Cole
If
Cabana?
I am not mistaken, one of the only times that they had 1 million viewers was when Ricky wrestled Darby and they were in like the midway of the show.
Yeah.
And that was 1 million people. So you know what, Tony Khan? Okay, first of all, I'm going to get my little high horse here.
Well, just be
Okay,
careful
hold on.
because the first time they ever broke 1 million was because of CM Punk's debut. And the
No, that
first
was the
pay-per-view that
second- that
CM
was
Punk
the-
was on was the first one that did the thing.
No,
but go
they
ahead.
broke 1 million back then. We can look it
Yeah.
up. That was like one of the first times they did.
Go
Yeah.
I
ahead.
think it was
Go off,
I think it was
woman.
980, but go ahead.
Go
I
ahead.
don't
Go
know. I
off.
think it was a mill. But all I know is this, is that doesn't that tell you something, Tony Khan? Doesn't that tell you that there is value in Ricky Starks? It's not about Darby Allin, okay? So now, all right, we'll talk about this in a moment, but I just wanted to say that because I believe that is true. But now with Tony saying all this shit, I'm like, Tony, who fucking put something in his fucking pile of snow? That's all I want to know, because that's some whacked out things to say. Woof. No. Mm-mm. Or maybe you need to go rehab, Tony. I don't know. Maybe booking wrestling and then having to all of a sudden after Collision have to fly wherever to go, to see your football team. I'm like, come on, dude. Like, shh. Anyways, I'm getting off the soapbox.
And that was Amanda's moment of
That
Zen.
was my moment of Zen.
Yeah.
But it's true. I mean, because
it's just one of those things where he wants to yell hypocrite about everything. But this is him being a hypocrite in his own face. Like, you want to say that The Undertaker and John Cena went down to NXT and doubled their ratings, and it was still a failure because they weren't seen by 1 million people, barely. When you sign all these people, like, you're giving them this massive platform and you're not able to deliver them 1 million viewers. And you just said so yourself. You just said that 2 people who've been doing this for 25 plus years have never experienced what you experience every week and what you're offering to every legend who leaves. You know what I mean?
And
like,
the other
it's
side
either
of that,
good or bad, right?
The other side of that too is those guys have been around long enough to where if they thought it was a bad idea, they'd just say no, and no would have stood without it compromising a damn thing. They chose to go down there, Cody chose to go down there.
Yes.
LA Knight chose to go down there. Becky, Asuka, these people are choosing to do this. It's not a step down. It really isn't. And all of these people, all of these NXT people are getting the rub. And that's not a step down.
Even if you want to, let's call it a step down. Because fuck, it's developmental, right? You're going down to the training facility. First off, when it was FCW, that shit used to happen sometimes. These people would pop in, right?
Yep.
OVW. People talk about, did you watch The Wrestlers?
No. Still haven't.
Netflix series, fantastic. Al Snow. In the opening sequence, they're talking about how important OVW is and what OVW is and all the big names to come out of OVW. And they say John Cena and Batista and Brock Lesnar. And then they also say, and the Big Show. They say the Big Show came out of OVW. That's not true. It's not even half true. It's not even partially true. It's just a flat out lie. Big Show was sent to OVW because his weight was so out of control. They wanted him off TV, but didn't want him to stop wrestling. So they sent him to OVW basically as fat camp. He didn't come out of OVW. He had to work through it after he'd already been a WWE champion. Same thing with Mark Henry.
No.
Mark Henry got blown up and they said, go to OVW, lose some weight, come back. Like, let's call it a step down because it's developmental. Sometimes your big stars come down for XYZ reasons, right? Cena obviously didn't go to NXT because he's got to lose some weight. But what Cena and Undertaker did is they doubled the viewership of NXT in one night.
They gave that rub. I mean,
they gave the rub.
Match. Yeah.
And when Tony puts his world champion on from Dynamite on Rampage, when he puts Adam Copeland to have his first match ever on Title Tuesday, does it double their ratings? You know what I'm saying? Like, what you're showing is a lack of momentum on your side by trying to call out the minutest detail of the wrong side of the coin. You know what I mean?
And you can't bitch that WWE used some of their stars to boost ratings when you're using WWE stars to boost your ratings. It's
insane.
It's bullshit.
He's a crazy person.
Yes. And I know independent promoters who would love to have a TV deal, even if it was public access, getting a tenth of the viewership. And this guy's bitching he's not, like, it's the Monday Night Wars. Come the fuck on, dude.
Yeah, it's just
be
not
happy you have a product. And he didn't even have to go through, running a small independent, boosting its numbers, gaining a following, then to get the he didn't have to go. He went in top. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and that's a whole thing. You know, be grateful for what you have. If anything, Tony should be looking at where WWE is as a benchmark. Really. You know, strive to get those numbers, to be making those billion-dollar acquisitions where a company like Anthem says you're an investment. Like, be there.
Yeah.
Get there. But don't bitch you're not there. Earn it.
Yeah.
Hi, Lunar.
Bishop coming through.
No.
Bishop says Martian, the only two people to watch Dynamite on Tuesday. Amanda said
I
she
did
didn't
not watch
it.
Dynamite. You're wrong. You're wrong, Bishop. You're wrong. I did not watch it.
Bishop, you're just mad you're not on the top show.
Yeah. Did you want to come on, Bishop? We could talk about Zack Sabre Jr. and Bryan Danielson.
Mm-hmm.
And I could shit on your opinion.
I'll send you the link right now.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, if you man enough.
Yeah. The home of pointless aggression, baby. Let's go.
I'm at the point I want to sell my AEW tickets at Oakland. Hell no, dude. We're second ring for the. No, you sell yours. I'm going.
I have turned down AEW tickets.
It's the homecoming of Will Hobbs in the ghetto. Okay.
I know. We had offered $5 to see it when it was in Phoenix, and I was all like, I don't know. It's almost 2 hours away. It's a drive.
Yeah, I just, you know, you got to remember here. I just saw like a bunch of AEW, like 3, you know, not since Revolution.
Live.
Well, I went to Seattle and I saw the Ricky Stark show. I mean, Collision, sorry. And then I saw Wrestle Dream, and then they were in Stockton, California, and I went there. So 3 shows. That was the worst. I will say this. That was the worst Dynamite after a pay-per-view I've seen.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't generally watch. Like, I watch AEW when I know Danhausen's on, because that's the only act I care to follow.
I watch Collision more. Because it is not only because it's the Ricky Stark show, but, you know,
I only watch Instagram clips.
However, I hear Jimmy Jacobs is now backstage doing stuff.
I don't
know
that's
what show.
Interesting.
But he's back. Yeah.
Who?
Jimmy Jacobs.
Jimmy Jacobs.
Oh, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like all these old Ring of Honor people are like slowly migrating over. I mean, you got Sanjay, you got, you know, Lethal, you've got Chris Hero, you've got Claudio over there, you have Colt over there.
I'm wondering, because they had just made a few acquisitions from the UK shortly before the pandemic. I wonder if they're going to pick up any more of those contracts. Because say what you want about Ring of Honor, when the pandemic happened, even if you were just a new contract, they supported their talent. Like, that's
Mark
part
Haskins,
of what,
man.
Yeah, Mark Haskins financially supported their talent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you're giggling. I didn't say all of them, but some of their talent did support.
Hey, Mark Haskins is amazing. I love Mark Haskins.
Listen, producer lady.
She is fucking beautiful. Have you seen his wife?
I had rant.
Have you seen Vicky Haskins? Woo!
She wasn't laughing at us. She was laughing at you. Cool. I was going to say, shout out to producer lady for putting up with Marsh.
Yeah.
Here's to that.
Doing the best you can.
Yeah.
I mean, Lunar says he watches AEW clips and cringe. That's true too. The more clips I see, and even the more things I hear people say about it, even people putting it over. I am such a big fan of some of these podcasts. Like I'll just say Sam Roberts. He's incredible.
Uh-huh.
But he went on a fucking rant the other day about how MJF and Adam Cole's story is the closest thing to the Bloodline story outside of the Bloodline story as far as detail and length and depth. And in my mind, I was like, you're so fucking up your friends' asses at times. You're trying so hard to put over your friends because you like them that you're force feeding this just false reality. You know what I mean? Like, well, that's a good point. Bishop says, didn't the ROH contracts void last year when they were sold? But yeah,
Some got picked up, some didn't, because some of the contracts had to be honored in acquisition.
But some contracts were just run out. A lot of them were just run out.
Like they had Session Moth under contract. They let hers terminated when the pandemic was going on. Because time ran out. They still supported her like 5 months after the fact.
Yeah. But when I hear someone go on for 10 minutes about how Adam Cole and MJF, where every single clip I've seen of Adam Cole and MJF literally makes me like cringe and think this is horrible TV. This is awful comedy. This is bad character work. This is high school play drama, except not as good as the high school actors I worked with in high school. Like, yeah,
I think
like
if you took that same storyline and you put it on people that couldn't carry it, it wouldn't get any sort of traction. Adam Cole and MJF are amazing, and that's the only reason it's getting the time of day.
The reason it's getting time of day is not because they're amazing. It's because that's the way the fans believe is that they're amazing. So they can't fuck it up. MJF has done a lot of terrible work. He has done terrible promos, shitty gimmick stuff. He had a terrible rivalry with Jericho. No part of it was good in any way or entertaining or clever. His promos with CM Punk were so overly scripted and forced. It wasn't great. It was okay. It was okay to get the story across, but he wasn't phenomenal. He has the capacity to be at times, but he also has the capacity to fall flat on his ass. The thing is knowing that audience will let him fall on his ass. They are all so far up his ass, he can't fall back onto it. So no matter how bad the whole show is with Adam Cole and MJF, the fans in the audience will carry it the rest of the way. They're going to react in every way that those two dudes need them to make this work. Because if they didn't respond this way, they're out of a gig, right? Which they're not. They're both too good to lose their job over this. But we'll cut the story, right? If this isn't working. The fans are going to react wholeheartedly for everything those two guys do because they love those guys and not because of what they're doing right now is good.
Well, and there's something to be said about that. When okay stuff, when passable stuff is getting the hype, that tells you something about the state of your product.
Mm-hmm. The rest of it's garbage.
Yeah.
This is mediocre garbage, and we're going to pretend like it's the greatest thing you've ever done because the fervor for the company is still there, and that's pretty cool. Yeah. Like, as much as it sounds like I'm shitting on everything they're doing and everyone they have, I think it's really cool that the fan base they have will carry them through. I think that's why Seth Rollins is still the champion, because the fan base is carrying him through, not because he's doing phenomenal work. His matches are great. His stories are sucking right now, and the championship means nothing. But when he wins, the crowds blow up. Because why? Well, we just love that guy.
Well, Gunther, there's a guy. Whew.
Oh, everything he's doing is actually phenomenal.
Fucking amazing.
Yeah. But AEW's fan base won't let MJF or Adam Cole fail, even though they're falling flat on their ass.
They let Saraya fail. I think Toni Storm out of the women's division is going to be the one. That's so finally going to. Her new gimmick, I fucking love it.
Here's the thing about her new gimmick. I love it, and I love it because it's a WWE gimmick. This is the least AEW thing they have. And the fans are eating it up like it's the most brilliant thing they've ever seen. And it's the closest thing to WWE product they have on their show. And that makes me and my tribalism love it even more. I'm like, this is really good. Tony could have done this in WWE, no problem. She could have nailed this in WWE. She would have had a better production value in WWE. But she's doing it in AEW, and the AEW fans are eating it up because they're so starved for anything as good as WWE.
Well, and here's the thing. Like, for me, I love the aesthetic that she's been putting out with a lot of her promos. I like the way she's adjusted her mannerisms and everything. And she differentiated herself completely from the rest of the women's roster. Nobody is close. And that's what really gets to me.
Yeah.
Dude, we are the dive bar of relevancy.
That's true. Dive bar of relevancy. We the ones making twos.
That has got to be new product. Holy
does that-
shit.
Marsha, does that make you the tribal chief then?
He's the head of the
Federal
coffee
chief.
table.
Yeah, I'm the head of the throne in a way.
Bishop is his wise ass.
Head of the ivory throne.
Yeah. The
Yeah,
porcelain.
Bishop, my wise ass. Yeah.
Why is that?
That's so good.
Bishop's still here? Yeah, Mr. I don't want to come on and,
No,
Really?
he likes the he doesn't want any of this. What is it? The
smoke?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah, he's from Delaware.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Delaware.
Oh.
So not relevant.
Oh.
So not relevant.
Like I've got anything to say.
No.
Yeah.
Have any of us been to
No.
Delaware? No.
I have. Fuck that.
What?
And it was.
Why would you go there?
Why?
Were you demanded by the government?
Yes, actually.
See? It's the only reason you go.
It wasn't by choice. It's like going to Groton, Connecticut. Why do you go there? Because the Navy told me to. That's
Yeah.
it.
Government made me.
Oh shit.
But yeah, I think what Tony Storm is doing is amazing. The thing I think is most sad about the Tony Storm story, and it's not even that sad, so it's really just not like a problem, and people will twist it into thinking I'm saying it's pathetic. I mean, it's not.
Right.
The sad part is that she didn't stick it out with WWE, that she gave up so quickly. And I understand the frustrating nature of the machine of it all, but there was no way she wouldn't have made it. You know what I mean? She was just too good. Cream rises, and it just always does.
Yeah.
And I've yet to be wrong about anyone I've seen in the first two matches and thought that person's going to be big and not seen them be big. And Tony was one that I started watching. She was one of the only women I was watching on the indie circuit because I was like, she's going to be huge. And she is huge now, even with AEW. But to think of what she could have done with the AEW, with the WWE machine behind her, the fact that she had this in her all along to do this timeless spot, this timeless Tony Storm is like a mix between like Gold Dust and almost like Miss Elizabeth in a way.
The
Like,
vaudevillains.
Vaudevillians, yeah.
It's got
like-
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mixed with, I want to say, a little Betty Page-ish.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, she's got a whole lot of that stuff going, but like my first few thoughts on it were Gold Dust. This is a female Gold Dust in the best way. But production value on it is pretty cheap and shoddy, and I don't think it's Tenacious D style, intentionally shoddy.
But it's there.
But it's there. Matter of
I
fact, I was
think
watching
she's
a
going
bunch
to
of
go
her
back.
vignette.
Like that. That is honestly, I think once her contract's up, she's gone.
I hope she does, because I think that she'll be massive if she goes back. And the thing is like,
She wouldn't even need. She wouldn't even need to go to fucking NXT. She could main roster straight out, no question.
well, she left from SmackDown. Put her back on SmackDown. I just think that like Charlotte is that terrible to work with that she made this person think there's no future, and it's just not the case.
It's true.
But I love it, and I love it almost because it's very WWE-esque, and she's nailing it. She's so built for WWE, and here she is stuck in AEW.
Yeah, the
How many
grass is
dream
always
matches can she
greener.
have there? The grass is always greener, but at the same time, like here's why Edge went.
Yeah, money.
Whatever. Edge went because he's getting a shitload of money, but he gets to play the friends matches he's wanted to. He gets to have a match with FTR. He gets to have a match with Christian. He gets to have a match with Sting. I feel like him and Christian are going to team up against Sting and Darby.
Eventually.
We
talked about that.
Yeah. And I pitched that for a reason because I think that's why he went. He's never been in the ring with Sting. And he said it on a thing after I said it here. And you guys said it out loud. He was in an interview where he said that 35 years, me and Sting have never been in the same company at the same time. Now we are. Boom. That's what I'm talking about. He's there because of Sting, FTR. He's there because he's done. His career is over. Over. In that there's nothing more to accomplish except cool shit I'd never done. And that's a really cool place to be. Tony's on the flip side of that. You've bled AEW dry. What else are they going to do for you?
No,
they can't offer you nothing.
And one of my concerns, and I raised that when you kind of threw it out there, is that they got to be real careful because AEW has a lot of injuries.
Mhm.
And he is one injury away from being like paralyzed from the neck down. And, you know, it's a matter of Sting, same way. Him going through a table made me cringe because I'm like, oh, because that could have been it right there.
Yeah.
Oh, man. And yes, more people do live in Delaware than watch AEW Dynamite. That is
Dude,
statistically a fact.
Dynamite would love to get the numbers of Delaware population. If Dynamite could just tap into the Delaware population as viewership and get them to all view at one time, they'd be in the fucking incredible numbers.
I
No,
don't
but Tony
feel like,
Khan probably doesn't even know where Delaware is.
well, Amanda, and I think you can agree with this because this is kind of our beat. I do feel like that if they put more behind ROH and their talent, I think they could do a lot more with it rather than treating it like a B show.
Bathroom.
Yeah, don't start me on this one.
Hey, CBR, man, sound the alarm.
Oh.
Sorry, I'm hearing things I didn't want to hear tonight.
Yeah.
I mean, you're hearing things you don't want to hear tonight. Is it the
Oh,
producer
Lord.
lady talking shit over here? I'm sure.
No, it's
She's
not shit.
Right.
Oh my God! See, she's derailing the show.
I had a
but
lot
that's
of ranch
like
dressing and noodles. What do you think is going to happen?
He's on the show, so producer lady's in charge.
I'm in show mode. This is the show.
You're shit mode.
You're in shit mode. It's like
Oh,
Brie mode, only more toilet.
It's a lot like
Oh.
Brie mode, except less shitty in some cases.
Oh Lord! Oh my God! Oh gosh! I just.
Oh God, we're a hot mess, and I love it.
Ay. Yeah. I still don't understand what Tony Khan at the end of the day, I don't even understand like why I mean I understand he wanted the catalog, yeah, but fuck, like dude, like
Yeah.
you have all these people who don't wrestle for you, they're under your contract that hey, you can use Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
Instead of having like Ring of Honor champs on every show, I mean, yeah, Eddie, Eddie finally got a bone, but still.
I feel bad for all these independent wrestlers who are looking at this product and going, that's the place to be. It's like, sure, you'll make money, but at what cost?
Yeah.
Darby, like, this is it. If he in AEW, WWE would probably not pick him up because that's not a gimmick they're going to go for.
Yeah.
He could do Impact, but without AEW, that's it. That's the cap of his career, and it's great to make money, but if it fails, he's back on the indies. And that might be enough for him. But, I don't think Tony Khan recognizes what impact he will have on every other promotion. And he does have an impact, even on WWE.
Yeah.
But it's not as much of an impact as he thinks because they're a big company. They can just blot you out. You don't exist. But every other promotion will feel that pain every time they do a shitty fucking book, every time they have a bad match, every time they injure a wrestler. This impacts everybody down the line.
Yeah.
Bishop has a on brand terrible take that Darby would be a great gimmick in WWE, just needs to wrestle different. I think he also needs to put on 175 pounds.
At
The
least.
thing is he look at the state of him. Here's the deal. Darby, if he walks into WWE, is Gargano with face paint.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And DIY is already taken.
And not good. And DIY is going to destroy Ciampa's potential career.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, yes. And
Everything
Ciampa's fucking
Ciampa's been
amazing.
doing for like the last 2 years has been destroying his career. Let's go there.
Well, I mean, that's hard to argue, but he was really on a tear here going up against Imperium, having that amazing match with Gunther and all that shit. And they had to spoil it all by doing something stupid like Gargano. But I think by putting him with Gargano, the crowd doesn't care, and they're not gonna care, and Gargano's not gonna turn them. Like, dude is anti-charismatic.
Well,
He's gonna end up flushing
Gargano's
Ciampas.
cap was NXT. Like he
Yes.
was it, and that was it.
Yeah.
But going to main roster, he's obviously not pushing enough creative on his end to do anything more than being Dexter Loomis's friend.
Yeah.
And trying to rehash DIY. Well, I think it has potential for a very vacant tag team operation because there's 4 teams.
I know, but the thing is, it puts so much weight on Ciampa.
Yeah,
Ciampa has to carry the entire thing. He's the only one here with that kind of charisma.
That has that
Gargano
gimmick that can hold it.
Yep. And Gargano is a void. So if they're not fucking careful, Ciampa will have he doesn't have a ton of time left. He's had some major injuries and he's getting older. He's got a huge production career behind him, or in front of him, I should say.
Yeah. He's producer material. Straight out.
Yeah. Absolutely. He should be on the road as a producer forever. But I think putting him with Ciampa, or putting him in there with Gargano, shotguns that. Like, at that point, you're fucking begging him to get hurt because Gargano's doing some stupid shit.
Speaking of producers, I think that they need to convince AJ Styles to stay on as a producer. Period. They've already got Abyss, and he's fucking great. But they need to keep Styles on because he said he's only doing this till the end of this contract. That's it. He's already made his money and then some. They need to keep his ass on as a producer because he knows what the fuck he's doing. He made Omos look believable. Dude needs he needs production or something. Keep that guy in the back because you ain't got but so many. You already fired Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, and those two have been around forever and a fucking day. That's one of those things. WWE was smart. I think Regal leaving says a lot about where things are going because that dude is the canary in the coal mine. Yeah. When he left WCW, because he had a lot of sway, things started getting dumb. And it's kind of the same thing with back when the politics were getting bad and they were, in early negotiations with Anthem, it got messy. Anybody could see that if you know anything about business. There's just so much going on. Like NXT, they've got the breakout tournament with some very independent names. Like some of these people are professional athletes who've been at the Performance Center. Some of these people are independents with training. That I think is going to be a real good showcase because they're no longer doing those the weird tournament gimmick. So this could be a very interesting thing to see because the roster is short because they did all those releases. Losing Dolph Ziggler was dumb. I think that was the dumbest cut, period. Does he need the job? No, but my God, man.
But what else are you going to do with him?
Same thing they've been doing with him forever.
How long is that going to go? You know what I mean?
It's gone on for 20 years. How long is it going to go when they want to stop using him?
Yeah, and eventually Simpsons will get canceled too, dude.
But they're not. They ran the same jokes for almost 30 fucking years.
I think that, I don't see... In the same way, I couldn't argue why they should cut Dolph. I don't think I could argue why they should keep him either. Mm-hmm. He just was who he was at this point. Why do we have to keep him? Because he's good. Why should we cut him? Because we're not going to do anything with him? That's what it feels like, right?
He's kept Natty, and
she's
let's face it.
She's
So was
doing more
Dolph.
for the women's division than Dolph is doing for the men's division by
Well,
a
is this-
lot.
Considering they got Mr. Glorious himself back, apparently. Did you see
talking
that? Fucking.
He's producing, I thought.
He's doing something, but they showed him on with the. You know, they were fucking with him a little bit with his old entrance music. So I don't know.
thought
if
he
it's
was
in
back
ring or-
producing because I thought that the neck surgery he had I thought was career ending, and so now he's a producer. I
Who
thought
knows?
they silently did that, but what I'm
I
saying
haven't
is
heard one
that,
way or the other.
Dolph is an incredible talent. They can help guys out get on once they're on TV. Natty put a ring in her house and opened up a school for free for anyone in the WWE to come learn how to become the person who should be on TV.
Mhm.
Like, she's doing way more for
Well-
the women than Dolph is. And not only that, Natty's doing more for the men. You know who's training with Natty every week? Fucking Dawkins. Angelo Dawkins.
It shows.
Yeah. I'm saying, like, if, and you know who, Natty's
Like-
training AEW, WWE, Impact. She's training the world to be on her level. And it's not to say that Dolph couldn't, but if you're also saying, why would you keep Natty for 400 years but cut Dolph after 200? It's because Natty can't stop giving back, and Dolph is just ready for someone who wants to take advantage of him in a good way.
Well,
If you want to go bend his ear, he's going to be there. But is he going to put up a
Consider this,
ring and
if
ask
you
you to come
will,
over
though.
twice a week?
like, yeah, I'm aware of how much she does on the back end, but I'm not everybody. You know, there's a lot of people who don't know how much she gives and how important she is backstage. If you just look at it from the, you know, Natty shows up, starts some shit, loses, disappears for a while, back and forth, back and forth. If you just look at it from what is shown on TV, it becomes a question why. You know, yeah, Dolph, if anything, could hold master classes on how to sell fucking anything and make it look fucking hot shit and brutal.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know what he does. I couldn't say.
And it's like Bishop says, it's not that Dolph couldn't, it's just that he doesn't.
and that's fair.
Here's the other
Maybe
deal.
he's-
My brother
Mhm.
does comedy in LA and sees both Nemeth boys all the time. You know who takes stage time every time he's asked if he wants stage time? Ryan. You know
Yep.
who never takes stage time but just sits in the back a lot?
Yeah,
Guys who could and don't. You know what I mean?
and that's fair. But again, it's not. I knew he did it, but I know nothing about it. Like, that's the way I try to take some of these points. Is I know a lot more than I'm saying, but I have to take this from a what do I see blatantly.
Yeah.
You know, it's like when Bishop is right, he's very right. When he is wrong, by God, is Bishop wrong.
Yo, and he's in your face when he's right. It's crazy. Like, relax.
Oh, yeah. He's like, haha, he's right one time out of every 10, but a clock is also right.
One time
twice
out
a
of
day when
10,
it's
I
broke.
think it's a little lower.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm giving the man some credit because he's at least part of the brand. I'm trying to, you know,
I know,
give
but
him
he's
a
from
little bit of
Delaware.
respect.
Yeah, he
He's
is
from
from
Delaware.
It's the Delaware thing. When are you wrong?
What, am I wrong?
No, I'm just giving Bishop shit.
Oh, I
Hey,
did it.
you-
When am I wrong?
Um,
Hardly ever.
That's right, Amanda. We don't hate on this show. We're positive.
Yeah, we are positive. Speaking of positive.
Yeah.
So, Marsh, is your
Mhm.
thoughts on Zack Sabre Jr. and Brian
Yeah,
Danielson?
Give us some quick thoughts before we.
So it was a relatively slow match, which I liked. I thought Moxley nearly ruined the match with his awful commentary.
I thought it
Um,
funny.
Head off.
He was
kill him.
he was fucking hard to handle. Not only was he hard to handle, he was hard for the other people to do their job. To the point where Nigel said, "Okay, take a breath and let's talk about the match." I said it before, and every time I watch Moxley at this point, I am worried for him because he came out of rehab, fired up, being sober, And everything I've seen in the last 2 or 3 months makes me worried that it hasn't stuck.
Like he relapsed, yeah.
I just don't know if
I
that's
hope
true,
not.
and I hope it's not. And maybe it's the jitters of being sober makes him behave a certain way. But yeah, I didn't like any moment of him on commentary, and it made me worried for him as a person. And the rest of the commentary team was a fucking mess. Nigel was the only one on there who was fucking solid. Jim Ross barely got 2 words in the entire match. And so just to get that out of the way, the commentary was tough, because here was a match that you could have talked about a lot of things, and here was a commentary team of 4 people trying to get themselves over in their own ways, and there was over half a story not told because of that. And that's where I'm coming from with it. Excalibur wanted to tell everybody how he knows the name of every move. Moxley wanted to tell everybody how he knows Bryan Daniels so good. Jim Ross wanted to say 3 words but couldn't and said fuck it. And Nigel kept trying to say, can we talk about the match that's happening in the but none of the people wanted to take the time to talk about the people and why they're there or why this move might be important. This match was the same match with the sound off than it was with the sound on, and that's not what the commentary team you want. I thought this felt like I was again watching Wrestling Make-A-Wish. This was a VFW dream match. There was just no story. So I couldn't give too many shits about who won or lost, but the proposition of watching the match was very interesting. Oh, cool. 2 of the guys who I know to be 2 of the best technical wrestlers in the world, because I've seen their matches and think they're phenomenal, are going to have a back and forth. That will be fun to watch. But this felt like I bought tickets for an indie show and just sat down and watched 2 guys wrestle. I went, oh, they're good at this. These 2 guys are too good to be having matches where you don't feel invested. And the investment shouldn't be Dave Meltzer loves us. This was the Dave Meltzer match.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, we have a thing on that
for Dave Meltzer. There was no reason to have this match other than Dave Meltzer wants this match, because the only 2 people in the world to ever win the Bryan Danielson Award was Bryan Danielson and Zack Sabre Jr. Those are the only 2 people to ever fucking win it. This was the award's named in terms of the greatest technical wrestler in the world. And Bryan Danielson doesn't win the award named after himself because he's in the wrong company until the year he comes back to a different company. Now he wins it again. It's a big old Dave Meltzer jerk-off session is what that match was. But not for no reason. These guys are fantastic. Dave Meltzer likes them for a reason, and this happens because they're actually really good at this. But if your entire story going into this is, wouldn't Dave Meltzer love this match? Then what the fuck am I watching? Like, I just feel like that they could have done anything. This whole Wrestle Dream, the entire Wrestle Dream pay-per-view was Ring of Honor Forbidden Door for the sake of the Wrestling Observer. This was sponsored by the Observer. Like, I just wish when you have people on the caliber that they have, that they could utilize them in the ability to tell the story to make you give a shit. Why does Bryan Danielson give a shit if he beats this kid who's not even signed to a major label? This motherfucker wrestles in Japan and in fucking volleyball courts in LA. Why does he give a shit if someone else thinks he's important? Make me feel like you feel it's important that you're better than him, right? None of that was told by commentary. None of that was told coming into it. But from a move-by-move, match in a bubble, YouTube with the sound off, fucking great. This was a good training match. This was exactly what these guys should be doing when the cameras aren't on. So when you tell me the story to get into the ring when the camera is on, you know exactly what the fuck you're doing, no matter who you're in the ring with. It was 2 masters. I loved it. A couple weird spots that the technicians do that I don't like, but whatever.
Like, I look at it, in terms of you don't see a lot of that level of technical wrestling, which I appreciated, coming from the days of the Midnight Rider going out to the ring on a horse, and the Hard Times promo, baby. So to see that, I thought it was great. I didn't really care about the storyline. I was like, this is going to be a technical match, and I appreciated it. In terms of Meltzer and all that, fuck your 5-star matches. Nobody cares. Well, okay, people care. I just don't. It doesn't matter to me. But I thought in terms of wrestling, it was fucking amazing. And compared to the spot fest that is AEW, this was a far and away separation. I do agree with the ROH comparison. It was ROH Forbidden Door. And I feel they fucked that up in general.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like, it could have been so much better. They could have brought in old talent for one-offs. They could have made, ROH revolts against AEW, hijacks, does their own fucking deal. They could have done any number of things that would have made this more interesting. But in terms of if I were to call match of the night, it was that one for me.
For sure. I thought that going in, it was going to be that or either Cesaro and Barnett.
Which was also damn good.
That's the one I haven't seen yet that I want to still. But that's the thing. I think it's the big problem here and the big difference between me and Amanda. Amanda will go to a West Coast Pro show, never hear of two wrestlers, and then either fucking love it or hate it. I'll see a really good match, and sometimes I don't care that I just saw a really good match. Sometimes you just go, it's good for them. You know what I mean? But this was like a match for Daniel Bryan. Okay. A match for Meltzer. Okay. Like, as a fan of them in general, I'm not a big fan of Meltzer, but as a fan of like Daniel Bryan, that's very cool. He got to have that match he wanted to have. I'm glad for him. But as a fan of like wrestling and stories, this did nothing for me in that, yeah, I could have watched this any day of the week on any given show. The logo behind it made zero difference. And that's a problem. You want this to be an AEW match. You can't wait. I can't tell someone to watch the Roman Reigns match 2 pay-per-views later.
Yeah.
Because you're going to miss too much of the story, man. You got to see this one now.
With me,
Sami Zayn matches. You got to watch this one now because you're going to miss too much of the story. LA Knight versus The Miz. I mean, you could go back and watch it, but he's already doing this other thing now.
He's already gone to the next line, yeah.
Yeah. Daniel Bryan versus Zack Sabre Jr. I'll watch it whenever you get around to it, man.
Yeah.
It's the same thing no matter when.
With me, I've seen so much that I need to see something different. And then I get invested in that.
Yeah.
And a story, like, I don't like the bloodline as a whole, but I love the story. And I am way behind Team J because, goddamn, he's killing it.
Jay's amazing. Good dude.
In contrast, I don't care about the Judgment Day. Amazing talent. I just don't care. Dom is fucking killing it. Like, he's still going and can't get a word in edgewise. And I don't know if that's more crowd or just he's that good. And it's gone beyond I was a dick to my Hall of Fame father. It's now even bigger than that. And good on him. Rhea, that she's great. Like, individually, they're great. As a group, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I think they're doing a weird thing. Maybe I'll talk about that with Bishop because I think the whole thing with Rhea has been kind of interesting, trying to put her on this Roman Reigns level.
That was good. That was different.
It was interesting. And I wonder to what end is all.
The last woman, historically, to ever give Heyman that treatment, Medusa.
Well, yeah, she had a fight with him, but that's just it. Are we going to do Rhea versus Heyman? That's what I mean. To what end? Because we did get Medusa versus Heyman. Are we going to get Rhea versus Heyman? Are we going to get Rhea versus Roman? Are we going to get Rhea versus Solo?
We don't know.
I just wonder. Rhea versus Medusa. Get Rhea versus Medusa.
Yeah, I would love that, but
wouldn't that be fucking cool? If Rhea's in Heyman's face, and at a certain point, Medusa steps in and says, "You can't talk to him the way I used to talk to him."
Yeah. I was the first Heyman girl. You're just a cheap knockoff.
Yeah,
I
and
can
then
see
and then
that.
you can get the Medusa retirement match against Rhea,
That would
where she
be
goes, "I will
so
shut
good.
you up once and for all, walk out of here and never come back." Boom.
That would be so fucking good. Oh
I'll
my
text Paul
god.
Heyman right now. I'll get that moving.
I mean, maybe it could happen. You know, I'm still waiting for that Amanda Jane versus Bishop match, but you know, I got
She
a
doesn't
right
go
to
to Delaware.
I'm not going to Delaware.
Yeah, she won't fight in a chicken coop. It's a thing.
Nope.
She said
We've
that.
already-
specifically.
I
We've
will
already
not.
learned what animals do in the ring, so
Yeah,
no.
she established it.
Yeah, I will
Um,
not. Thank you very much.
But do you think I'm
So-
being too harsh on Daniel Bryan and Zack Sabre Jr.,
No,
Amanda?
I think a little, because first off, that match was not a Dave Meltzer match. A Dave Meltzer match, in my opinion, is something like, I don't know, FTR and,
You're thinking
Ozzy
of the Young Bucks versus the Lucha Brothers. Just
that
flippy
too.
as
That's a
shit.
Dave Meltzer match. That right
Yes.
there, right?
Yes.
he
Now-
loves a good
This is
spot
the other side. This is the Observer match. I want the two greatest winners of my award to face one-on-one, and who's the best?
No, I think most people who, like, for me, because we all know I love me some Zack Sabre Jr. Have for a long time. I've always wanted to see that because they're the only two who always say that they're the best technical wrestler in the world. So it's kind of like, it's pretty ballsy to make that statement, you know? And
Yeah.
I think that because now there's an opportunity for them to do it, why not?
And we've been denied it like what, once or twice. They booked it and injuries stopped it, right?
Mhm.
Mhm.
Like, get it done.
And now it's part one because they're going to do a part two. And it obviously Zack Sabre Jr. was like, nope, you didn't submit me. No, won by bullshit way.
See, I thought that was dumb. I thought that part of the story was stupid, where even Nigel said, well, Bryan Danielson technically won with a strike. So if you ask me, Zack Sabre Jr. can say he's still the best technical wrestler because he didn't win with a wrestling move.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't an illegal move.
No, but I think that was what people were expecting. Like, it's going to be a submission. And especially because when you go into it, like, these guys know how to get out of these moves, you know? So it was going to be more of for me, it was more of who's going to outsmart whom and whatnot. Because if you had, let's just say, I don't know, Bryan Danielson versus Jonathan Gresham, hell fucking no. I already know who it is because John Gresham is not believable as a technical wrestler because he's got short T-Rex arms and, and whatnot. And like Danielson, one kick and I think he'd freaking knock over, even though he's like, little buff dude. I'm like, no, it's not believable. Now, if I look at now, it's no secret or shame or whatnot that I went to Wrestle Dream for that match in particular.
Yeah.
Because I've always wanted to see that. Always. And I was like, oh my God, it's not like freaking in Chicago or, wherever. I'm like, oh, it's an hour, hour and 20-minute flight. So, did it live up to what I was expecting? Absolutely. It was very interesting to see because being there, it's very interesting to see because a lot of people, they don't like that style. Most people, majority of people there, people were bored. I know they were bored. They had to have been bored, but it's the home guy. So, you gotta be, yes. But, it was interesting to me just to kind of see people. Now, was it what I expected? Yeah, absolutely. Except the finish was, I wasn't expecting it to be like that. But it was actually Wrestle Dream. I will say this as a whole, the whole card top to bottom, probably one of the best shows that they've done. It was better than All In.
But none of it mattered.
I know none of
Right.
it matters.
And that's what I mean. And that's my
But-
problem is that, like, because we're in a world of oversaturation of matches where I can watch match after match after match and every single one of them, if you buy into Dave Meltzer's bullshit, you get 7 or 8 5-star matches a week, right?
I don't buy into Dave Meltzer's bullshit.
No, but I'm saying
And
if you
I-
want to use any metric to say this is a perfect match, they're all saying we're getting perfect matches several times a week. So I need
It's
more
not-
than just a
they're not
match that
getting
makes
perfect.
sense.
But they're
Well,
not getting perfect matches every
not.
week.
They're shit.
No.
That's really
They're
the
not.
trick with this match. In a company full of spot fests, this was a technical match, and it's sad that it didn't get more of the praise that it should have. And fuck a 5-star rating.
Mhm.
This was a precious thing in the ocean. It just had no buildup, no reason for it to happen. And you're right. While I found Moxley humorous, the commentary did nothing for me.
Yeah.
But the
back-
match did something for me.
Yeah, I went back and it was just one of those things. Even during the Starks match, I'm like, fucking Mox, what are you contributing here? I'm like, are you fucking drunk? Like that. I'm like, are you and JR drinking back there? Because, boy, you both, yeah. I'm like, oh, I don't know.
Drunk
But-
JR is the best JR.
JR, he
I
is
love JR.
drunk JR, man. And I'm excited. He's going to be on the Jericho cruise. Oh my God, when he's drunk. Oh, can't wait.
I
Can't
am
wait.
there for that, man.
I am
You
there.
buy him a Moscow Mule from me.
I will. I will. Oh, even though he gets his unlimited beverage package for free. So,
Dude, I even
I-
realized as I was watching the match that
Mhm.
after it's all been said and done, I watched it today.
Mhm.
I'm that far removed from it. I had no idea who won. Going into the match, I had no idea who won. If
Okay.
you ask me about any match on NXT any given week, I know who won the matches. I know who had the matches. I know who's doing what. I don't even watch NXT on a regular basis, but I know what's happening.
Mhm.
I haven't muted anybody on my feeds that have anything to do with AEW. Matter of fact, I follow AEW.
Mhm.
So why do I not know when a match like this happens who's winning, and then why is that not important? Why is it
Because-
important? Brian Danielson just beat Zack Sabre Jr., the only other person to win the award half as many times as him. That should be a big fucking deal, dude. Talk about it.
Hey, Marsh.
Well,
you have
yeah.
a mark in the chat.
Yeah,
Kuro
Kuro's my dude.
Word.
Kuro's my
Nope.
homie.
yeah, Giro, it is. Mhm.
He
Yeah.
won't give me a job, but
Yeah.
Marsh is our special guest tonight.
Mhm.
yeah, because I call it down the middle.
Yeah, Kiro, he let me have the freaking keys to the castle, and all fuck, it goes all to fucking hell.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think the reason why you don't see that is because that's not Tony Khan's priority,
No, not at
right?
all.
It's not. I mean, I think he only really did that because this is something that
Meltzer.
everyone wants to see. Ooh,
Hey,
ooh, ooh, it's
because of
going to get me
Meltzer.
buys.
Because
Yeah,
Meltzer.
because of Meltzer, and he needed something to make money because he can't, with all the money he's throwing at contracts, there is no fucking way he's
Well-
making a shit ton of money behind
Well,
it. There's just no
No,
fucking
what
way.
doesn't matter? It's his father's money. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day,
Well,
it's shot
learn
money.
the lesson of Dixie Carter. Father's money runs out when you start losing enough of it. That is
I don't
a
know.
fact.
But
That's
is
how
he
that works.
also laid off some of the snow?
Yeah. And
That's what
maybe-
Rob Van Dam said early on was the problem with people who have a lot of money is they don't like to lose very much money.
Mhm.
So he goes, so we'll see how long this AEW thing lasts. He said that when AEW first popped up, like hadn't
Yeah.
even, I don't even think it was televised yet. But he said they're like, oh, they got a ton of money back, and he goes, yep, people with money don't like to lose it.
Yep, Billy Corgan's going to buy AEW. I would love that. NWA has solid booking. You might not know a fucking
Well-
person on the card, but the matches are good.
I don't know. I haven't honestly I haven't watched
Really?
watched it since pre-pandemic. So I
Uh,
can't comment on that. But
to give you an eye on kind of what's going on with NWA, they had Tyrus as their champion. They let him,
Oh.
yeah, love him or hate him, he got eyes on product, which was smart.
No.
But when that,
Well,
when that
people turned off.
waned,
The ratings dropped.
well, regardless, their new champion, which was a great choice, is EC3.
He's
Which-
awful.
He
Cannot
carried
stand him.
Impact. You might not like him, but he carried Impact.
During the
Very-
lowest part of their viewership ever.
So did Drew McIntyre.
Yes,
It
Drew
still
McIntyre
helps.
also sucks.
I agree, but he can keep a program afloat. That's all that matters to me, because They
EC3
have
as a
good
life
product.
raft is not the same as getting a fucking sailboat.
well,
Like-
as NWA hasn't been
No, he's
mainstream
NWA
relevant in fucking what?
What?
30 odd years. But
Mhm.
it's still going, and the product is good.
Billy Corgan was so bad they had to bring Jeff Jarrett back. Is Jeff Jarrett back in NWA?
He's behind the scenes. Bishop, nobody cares about your opinion. You're on
Why
the
did
Monday
Bishop
show.
now?
He's
I'm
just
not
talking
looking
shit
at
about
that.
me. I don't give a damn. It's Bishop.
Well, because you went for EC3, and we all know EC3's dick, dude.
No,
My
I
favorite
like
part about
EC3.
EC3 is listening to all of his interviews and realizing he's been the problem all along.
Yeah.
He was
Well,
never going to succeed.
That may be, but he's
Mhm.
there for a reason, and he's not Tyrus.
He's there for a reason because he's cheap and no one else wants to hire him.
Hey. Again, add in, still not Tyrus.
Yeah, Tyrus was bad. Tyrus
Like-
was so bad.
It
The thing
is
is-
a step up. Like,
It
that's
is.
where it is.
And that's the
You
sad
know,
part about
not much.
NWA is that I think NWA was the greatest casualty apart from Ring of Honor of COVID.
100%.
It
Mhm.
never was able to get its footing back ever. And
Mhm.
to make matters worse, a lot of egos came out in COVID
Yes.
that created an implosion within the NWA where they started trying to bring in people and dump out people. And if you ask me, they got rid of the people who made the NWA what it was, and that's why it lost its heart. Its
Yeah.
heart and soul were fired during COVID, and that's why it has not come back. And the problem they're trying to have is they're trying to fill it in these weird ways of, is it this talent or that talent? And they don't realize that what's lacking is the heart and soul of what made it interesting to begin with.
I think
And
they
then-
fucked up the women's division by not getting Lady Frost. They had the opportunity. They should have grabbed her as fast as fucking possible.
They needed to grab her. They needed to, I guess it really wasn't their call, but locking in Thunder Rosa would have been big for them. I think they
They could've-
really fucked up by hanging on to Nick Aldis.
Mm-hmm. I agree with
They-
that 100%.
If they didn't hang on to Nick Aldis, I think they'd be fine. I think Nick Aldis was the thing that destroyed them. Because he had ego issues with other people and got other people fired. Them getting rid of David Marquez, bullshit.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, and that's the
Yeah.
thing. Like, it is, in comparison, as I've said, I don't like spot fest matches. I just don't. And in comparison to that, NWA is not that. So, in my mind, I like the booking. I can follow it. I understand the storylines. It brings me back to an older style of booking. And I appreciate that comparative to the landscape.
Yeah. We used to have a watch along for Power, and we called it Happy Hour with 3 R's.
Oh, I loved Empower. Oh, God. I enjoyed that the all-female pay-per-view. I loved that a lot.
Well, Empower, but they're the Power NWA show,
Powers,
weekly show.
yeah.
We loved it. It was amazing. But I mean, we had Eli Drake, Eddie Kingston, Thunder Rosa. We had Homicide. We had who were the tag teams? The fucking Wild Beast tag team guys.
Did Tom Latimer and Royce Isaacs was a tag team.
Yeah, Strictly Business
yeah.
is a tag team.
Yeah, they brought
God in once.
the Bruisers, the Beer City.
Beer City Bruisers, we
Brewers.
loved. Fucking Ricky and Zicky Dice. As much as Zicky Dice grossed me out, he was good.
Disgusting.
Yeah, I got
No.
stories,
Caleb
but
Conley was there.
Yeah, but when I watch NWA now, it just looks like a bunch of indie people went into NWA. And I also wonder if part of what destroyed NWA, which has also been my argument from the get-go, that Tony Khan was in here to ruin indie wrestling and not create a secondary, a larger wrestling world. He's shrinking it. He
That's
wiped
what I
the indie
think.
scene clean.
Yeah.
And I said it when he first opened up because people are all like, "Oh, look, no, he's just adding to it. It's going to be amazing. We'll be able to have WWE and AEW." And I said, "No, he's making Tony World. He's about it in." Remember, as I was telling you this, Amanda, everything he did, I was like, watch him put 4 more hours out. Watch him put another hour out. Everything he was doing was splitting the audience, not growing the audience. I was like, he's trying to create the split. He wants tribalism. Tony Khan, from the beginning, has been polling this person from here, polling this person from here, and he's been creating so much hourly content weekly that you cannot watch all of AEW and something else. He wants to divide.
And I agree with that. Like, and it's to their detriment. If it's not an injury, it's a shit storyline, or they're sitting and fucking catering. Miro, my God, what the fuck, dude? You had money on your table.
Yeah, and honestly, if they stuck to Dynamite and just did that and focused on it, it probably would be a bigger world of wrestling right now that everyone could enjoy all of it with a better focus. Bishop has a good point. How's Ethan Page doing? Is he champion yet? Or
Ethan Page is on ROH.
Yeah,
ROH
Ethan Page
people go to die.
Yep, he's gonna go to quit. I think the only person that really wants to be there is Athena, and that's because she was shit short to being the only thing there.
No, Athena, Billy Starks, obviously, because sorry, there's a train. And then I'm trying to think of who else. And I don't know.
Samoa Joe.
But he doesn't do his titles on Ring of Honor. It's all taken over to Dynamite. And
right. So what's the point? Like, he doesn't
exactly. Hello, no point.
There could be so much more. It's like there's a lot of product with hope, but there are just some people that are fucking it up for everyone.
Is Shibata still the pure champ? I didn't understand that with like Eddie Kingston. So Shibata is still the pure champion? No, I don't know. I didn't understand.
Nobody.
I was there.
Like,
didn't understand it.
When it was ROH as ROH, you cared. Now it's like, whatever. Who cares?
No.
Eddie Kingston. I'd say AEW as a brand is built and catered to a very specific group of people. It is IWC driven, IWC booked, and IWC run, and that's the problem. It has a shelf life. It's like ECW. Love it or hate it, it's got a shelf life.
It does. I mean, it's really weird to me that when you look at it, like ROH was just I want that because Vince wants it too, and I won't let him have it. That's what ROH has always been to me.
Yeah.
And he never did enough with it, with even the tape library.
No, he didn't do anything with it. Let's go there. Okay. He just made Claudio the champion, and Claudio wasn't even doing it on ROH. It was all on Dynamite and Rampage and Collision.
If he's used it all, and that also hurts. Is they have such a wide bunch of people at roster that nobody really gets a focus unless you're part of this group of people with this favoritism in the back, and not people that should be pushed. Claudio should be a world fucking champion by now because he is amazing. He can do it all.
Well, we have this bullshit right now.
Yeah.
And I'm not a fan of that. What else I'm not a fan of is that stupid storyline. Not because the fucking Kingdom are in there, but that stupid one with Roddy. I don't know. I swear to God, people were yelling that during the show, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, shut the fuck up. It's so annoying.
I'm with Willis. One of the best pay-per-views I remember, and I can't think of the name of the pay-per-view for obvious reasons, was it was an ROH pay-per-view where they were in a fucking ball field. You know, it was
it
an
long time
old,
ago? Or
long time ago. Cody
Oh,
was
God.
still in ROH long ago. And it was solid match after solid match with a plot line and a story. It was good. Hell, when they had Raven there, you know, he was damn good. They didn't book him like an idiot. And it was worth the watch. Like, that was old ROH. Like, they were going to start pre-pandemic was going to be this whole fucking thing where the women's division took itself very seriously, as they should. And their champ at the time, and I can't get it in my head who it was all
Kelly
like,
Klein?
you know, it might have been where she was all like, you got to take this seriously, this and that. And that's precisely why they got Session Moth Martina, who did a video package promo of, I'm sorry I set wrestling back in this shit. And then at the end of it, she's like, but I'm really not sorry at all. And it was supposed to put that feud together, which would have been great because they're counter opposites. And it would have been great.
Nobody wants to admit this, but you know why ROH was great, right? Pre-pandemic? 2
Why is
words.
that?
Marty's girl.
I'll give you that 100%.
And nobody, I don't give a fuck. And it's not because, you know, I'm just saying I don't give a fuck if you think this, that, or the other of him, but you got to recognize the fact he was gonna fucking change the face of that company. I mean, he's the one who brought the Pure title back. Okay, he's the one who he had a vision for it. I mean, him and NWA, they were gonna partner because I'm pretty sure that most people don't know, but Marty was gonna win the title at Crockett Cup. That pisses me off because, you know, goddamn pandemic. But, you know, because Marty couldn't write himself to do it.
I'm going to throw this at Bishop because he's over here, the obligatory Marty shout out. Look, that dude walked in as a fucking gaijin to Japan, got a 15-minute introduction, thrown into major spotlight, and had not even been there a month with contract at their hottest fucking faction. There is something to be said about that because they don't do that for everybody. So this time, Digi is right. You can bitch all you want, but the man's talented. You know, regardless of all that, you know, the B word, say what you will about how he ended, the man in the ring was top, was legendary. You know, outside of that, fuck that. Fuck no. But that's where it is. You might not like it, but that's the truth.
Yeah. And I'm not going to say Bishop, you know, I'm not going to say I am slightly biased. I'll say that. I will say
I'm
that.
not.
You know, but even if I wasn't biased, the guy is like, if you look at some of the shit he's done, it's like, damn, that guy has a really great creative mind. Okay. There are very few people in the industry who are like that, like genuine, like they, you know, they've got it up there. There's very few people who are like that.
It's like with Cena. Say what you will. The dude's been it. You know him. You know his name. He's been there and done that. Like it or not. He also has the highest Make-A-Wish granting of any person on the fucking planet. There's love him or hate him. That's what it is. And well, you may have heard some stories. You know, it is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, nobody's perfect.
No.
But, you know, I mean, it's one of those things. It's like there are certain people you need to understand. Now, like, if you were to say, oh, the young, no. Marty was above that. Okay. Above that. Now, you know, but that's just my opinion. And I'm not going to continue with it.
No,
but
it's valid. There are special people in the business that have it. Like Paul Heyman love him or hate him, he might need a leash on him, but he's a proven product.
Mhm.
You
Like,
know,
look at LA
Stone
Knight.
Cold, yeah, LA Knight. He's got
Mhm.
it. You know, you might not be able to put your finger on it, but yeah, the guy's
Yeah.
got it.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
I think that's been the ultimate topic of the night. Is whether you're a booker, a ref, commentary, there's it and there's not.
Mhm.
You know, we can look fondly at old ROH. We can look fondly at old NWA. We can look fondly at certain points and certain things of a company. And while we might not like one or the other, here we are.
Yeah.
We have every day of the week you can watch wrestling. You might not like the style, but you can.
Mhm.
Every weekend, I'm sure you can find an indie near you, unless you're in Delaware, which sucks. Then you can't. But you know, we have a ref right here in the podcast, Mr. Marsh here. For God's sake, there are people. You know, we have Bishop on Monday. He might not always be right, but the man's got an opinion. He can argue with you, right, wrong, or indifferent. I'll put him over for that. Hell, Willis shows up occasionally. I can put over a fan. You know, that's really the positive end of this is that, you know, we all have things we like. We all have our point of views. And this is why it's a special time. You go back 30 years, you had two major brands where you had Monday, Friday, Saturday. That was it. Now you have this is a great time to be a fan. There are people on the indies you never would have heard of. You know, Jade Cargill, prior to AEW, Jade who?
She wasn't even
You know,
wrestling. But let's go there. Let's not go there.
well, regardless,
but-
you know her name.
Yeah, but I will say this. Okay.
Mhm.
There's some things that I'm a little bit shocked about.
Okay.
Every once in a while, AEW will do this, and they'll do something that shocks you. What I'm talking about right now is your new tag team champions.
Yeah, that was a little different.
Where the fuck did that come from?
What? Who are the tag champions?
Huh?
Who are the tag champions?
Big Bill
Bill
and
and Ricky Starks.
yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
And you know, apparently whose idea it was Dax Harwood. I'm like, what? That's what word on the street says, but I don't know. But it's weird. But you know what? I told someone, they're like, oh, yeah,
Jade
they're the
Cody.
champs. And I said, well, first of all, one, it's about time Ricky had a fucking belt. Okay.
Yeah, that's
Two,
real.
Two, who wants to see FTR and the Young Bucks again?
Ugh.
So technically, right now, if it still stays the same, it will be Ricky and Big Bill versus the Young Bucks.
I am okay with that.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Because, everyone's going to say, oh, think of what you will about the Young Bucks, okay? Or whatnot.
Can we just call them the Bucks because they're beyond young at this point?
Yeah. But I'll tell you this. Like, they are ones who definitely, I think, if anything, they will put their egos aside and actually, help out. I know a lot of people don't think that. I know a lot of people don't think that. Marsh is just shaking his head. He's like, I'm not even going to look up and entertain this conversation. But I think that's what it's gonna be.
If the one thing the Young Bucks will not do, it's put their egos aside. And if there's any indication you need to know that, it's because Dax Harwood said to take the belts off of them before the Young Bucks, because the Young Bucks would not put their egos aside and they were going to take the titles off of FTR again. Dax didn't want to lose to the Bucks again. So he said, put it on somebody else. Put it on his team that barely even exists, because when they lose, no one's going to give a shit. That's what that is. It's not putting Ricky over. It's fitting him to the Wolves.
No, I mean,
I could see that point though. I
can, but
there is a point where it's an interim. It's like when they had fucking who was it? It was not the Brawling Brutes. It was when they had Sheamus and Drew were tag champs for like a minute. Like,
Oh.
I think that they're going to be interim, but you know what? I hope they take everything they have going on. I hope they take it to the moon, like a, Sami Zayn and the Bloodline sort of bullshit. Go from, unknown to something worthwhile.
Yeah, because right now, Ricky's nowhere near getting one of the other belts. Now, what would have been better is if he got that stupid belt off of Orange Cassidy, because now where is it again? I'm like, I'm fucking tired of Orange Cassidy. Fucking, I hate him. I mean, I never liked him to begin with. But
I liked his UK stuff. He was a lot more.
Chikara.
Yeah, Chikara
That's
was
right.
probably his better point. But and I will bring up something that Bishop said is Jay and Cody. That is an unlikely team, but they mesh, and I get why they took the titles off the Judgment Day, and they did it in such a way where it was believable, and I liked that. Their last title defense was good, surprisingly, and I think they're going to have a time for that.
Yeah. Well, we'll see the next match, what happens with Starks and Big Bill. I'm very interested to see what
I
that
hope the
is.
best for him. I really do. Like, Bill, give or take, outside of like WWE was just too much for him. And that drove him to a lot of dark places, and that's part of why he lost his job. And, he took some time, and he needed it. And I like seeing him healthy. I think Ricky Starks is going to be a good influence on him. And this is his chance to really step up. And I think Ricky's going to be that difference, to be honest with you. I've heard nothing but good things in how he works in the back. So,
do you think Ricky's going to say that you can't teach that? Do you think he's going to go that route?
I would love that and die.
Oh my God, no.
Enzo comes out, interferes in the match, fucks him over.
Please, no. No. I'm thinking right now, because Ricky's nowhere near the picture of, whatever, that, for now, this is going to have to do until there's some big move that Tony does. Because honestly, like, he needs singles gold. Like, it's nobody's business.
And title terms, there needs to be a switch. It can't just keep going, young bucks every other week. It needs to. There needs to be new talent for people to enjoy.
And MJF is getting stale. Sorry, it's
I feel like he is.
Yeah, I agree.
Ricky should have been the one to take the belt off of him. That's still the biggest mistake ever. I think that because MJF was so fucking egotistical. Even if Ricky only had the belt for a show, doesn't matter. That would have been better than, that would have been hilarious because he basically shut the guy up.
Yeah, I was honestly surprised when I found out that he was still the champion. Really, I haven't heard much about it. I asked someone who the AEW champion was, and like, dude, MJF. And I was like, really? Still?
Yeah. He's
also, remember, the ROH tag team champions with Adam Cole.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting for that to implode.
They're going to strip
that. Full gear. I think it's when we're going to see it.
And there's this weird fucking like emo drama between Adam Cole and
Roddy. Oh God,
Roddy. Yeah, and it's just like
MJF.
It's
and now,
dumb.
What is this MJF and Platinum Max crap? Kind of weird.
I just. And that's why we address the independents, because let's face it, there's just nothing we're talking about. Like, I could wax poetic about the Death Dolls any day of the week. I love MK Ultra as a tag team. I like that the commentary. Matt Rabel caught a chair that wasn't supposed to go towards commentary and saved the other guy's ass. It was so funny. There's clips of this shit. I'd rather watch Impact any day of the week than anything AEW, and I do. It's more to my attention.
I only watch Collision now, not because of Rick, but like I said, it actually there's actual storylines to it. There's not a lot of bullshit, which is kind of nice. So, um, but
Well,
hey,
boss, Lady Amanda Jane, the boss, the leader, my tallest. We're going on about 2 hours and 40 minutes, and I think
yeah, and I'm at work, so I want to go
yeah,
home.
you want to
You
go?
gotta go.
So before we go, hey, Ref Marsh,
Yeah.
for those who don't know, where can they find you?
If you check out Pro Wrestling Spotlight on youtube.com/Pro Wrestling Spotlight with John Arezzi, I co-host that. What he does and what he did was he had a radio show it was from the late 70s all the way until about 94.
Mhm.
And he had a few little stints where he went off air from time to time. We're on the last tail end of the last 3 months of his radio career before he went into music management in Nashville and discovered some top stars. Matter of fact, if you ever heard of Patty Loveless, then you know some of his people. But
John
he
Arezzi is a fucking legend.
he was the original podcast. Without Rezzy, there would be no wrestling radio. He
Mhm.
gave Wade Keller, Dave Meltzer, Bruno Sammartino.
If it
Billy
wasn't for him, a
Graham.
lot of people wouldn't have a job today.
They were given platforms that they didn't have, and he had a small platform. It was just the New York area, but he recorded all his tapes, all of his radio shows, all of them from all those years. And so what we're going through is we're listening to these tapes. I'm pulling clips, and we review some of these clips and talk about what was happening in wrestling 30 years ago, and what was your impact there. So right now we're talking about AAA and WCW doing their show together. We just had Ron Scholar on, who was the IWC chairman who facilitated AAA and WCW talking. It's been cool stuff. But if you're not into wrestling history, then you won't like my next project, which is also youtube.com/Queen of Carnage, where I hang out with Medusa once a week and we talk her career and just about anything else that she wants to bring up, because that's just how it goes when you talk to Medusa. She's going to talk about what she wants.
Some of those interviews she's done, like Rock and Robin, was fucking amazing. Mick Foley, like, she talks to people.
Yeah, she brings on good guests. Arezzi's been bringing on good guests. It's been a good time. So you can find me in those places. Otherwise, Dive Bar opens up from time to time when we're feeling thirsty.
We're the
It's been
show.
a while. It's been a while. Why we went on so long? It's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Where can they find you?
Well, you can find me. I am one of Medusa's mods. I am here with Miss Amanda Jane, her proud co-host. I'm an Amanda Mark. I also just got an Instagram, as promised. DigiDamon, WOTR, is on Instagram. I don't post much, but I will be posting.
Post the cats.
I
like
will
getting
post
cat
that
pictures every day. I do. I do love it.
every morning at like 2:30 her time. I'm posting my cat pictures. It's great.
Yeah. He sends me them. He's like, I'm sorry, it's early. No, I get up in the middle of the night and
So it's got a cat picture. Miss Amanda Jane.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I might not respond, but because I'm like half coherent, but I'm like, oh, cat picture? Yeah.
And you, my man, my host, my tallest.
I'm not the man. I'm the woman. But anyways.
Woman.
Well, you can find me at work because I'm still here. You'll have to find where I work, though, in order to find me at work. It's my name. I'm almost everywhere. I'm not on TikTok. I'm not cool enough. But yeah, remember, you can give me a birthday gift at Venmo. I'm at Ms. Amanda Jane. Cash App, same thing. Ms. Amanda
We
Jane.
have one more tradition.
Yeah, we do. We do.
Marsh, you are our guest.
Mm-hmm.
We toast to something positive that you're either looking forward to or something that's gone on in the past. We like to end on a very positive note. So what would you like to toast to?
Becky Lynch announced she's got a book coming out. She's written a book called Not Your Average Woman, and I'm really excited to see what she's willing to spill, because there's beans that just never will get spilled. But apart from her writing a book about her story, Just the excitement of watching her and continue to tell her own. I wonder if she's on a retirement tour, a bucket list tour. I wonder if she's ready for Hollywood. So everything she's doing in NXT is worth keeping an eye on because she's done an amazing work with Tiffany already. She's about to work with Lyra. Whatever Becky is up to in NXT is worth keeping an eye on because there's something going on there.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. And I'll go because we always end with Amanda. I will cheers and I will add on to Marcia's that I'm very happy to see Lyra getting her comeuppance. I am very happy to see a lot of independent wrestlers getting some shine, such as our guest Artemis Watley. I am glad that Bishop showed up. You know, at some point we're going to have Bishop on as a guest. And I am glad for our fans, and I'm very grateful for Producer Guy and Miss Amanda Jane.
And Producer Lady.
And Producer Lady, who has been CBR'd to death. We're getting that woman a gas mask. Holy shit.
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess it's my turn now. So, you know what? I'm grateful and thankful that, one, we got the OG down there, Rough Marsh, coming around. Which is kind of cool. I made him watch Ricky Starks.
Love it.
Oh, and I'm pretty sure all you listeners are thankful that I didn't talk about his ass today.
Good point.
I could have.
Peaches. It was cool that he got the chance to work with Bryan Danielson the way he did.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Those were incredible. I mean, that's if anyone, that's a non-Dave Meltzer match, but Dave Meltzer had to give fucking Ricky that respect. And honestly, like, I just couldn't believe the strap match and then having the Texas death match. And like little pretty Ricky's kind of scarred up now. So
the only thing Ricky needs to do is he's got to focus on making things look natural. When he's going from spot to spot, sometimes he's pretty clunky. And like when he pulled out that chain so that way Daniel Bryan could pull it away from him and then choke him with it, he grabbed it and then like handed it to him and then like helped him put it on. It's like, let the guy struggle. We'll get there. Struggle. That's my only issue with his match is he was really cooperative.
Remember, he's like a babe in, just got out of the womb, I know he wants to be very ambitious, but you know what? He's still got a lot of things to do. So he needs to tone the ego down a little. But anyways, glad that everyone came out. I'm excited this weekend to see West Coast Pro's 5th anniversary. I cannot believe it's 5 years now. So that'll be exciting. Let's see here. Yeah. And I get a birthday. I'm not telling you how old I am, but I have a birthday. So yeah. And let's see here. So, all right, guys, I think
we're the ones making the twos.
Yes. Now, I'll tell you guys, thank you for putting up with us here at the Thursday Night Chaser. You know who we are. We're Wrestling on the Rocks. And you know what? Around these parts, it's last call. Oh, cheers.
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 Hey, Producer Lady here. Thanks for tuning in. Continue to support us or buy us a drink by following and putting the I in subscribe on Twitch. Or subscribe and review our podcast on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to us. Cheers.
I would never have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks.